I don't think in any way that suicide is an easy way out. For example, I'm in favor of people being able to decide if they want to get into something or not, right? And life isn't something you're forced to do. Maybe I don't want to keep going. Now, I have a good reason. There's a difference between not wanting to live and not wanting to live the way I'm living. It's a big difference.
How? I mean, this way of thinking is refreshing. It's such a relief. How has it worked out for you in life beyond the philosophy we're talking about today?
That's just how I live. I never define success. It's something I talk about at the end of Recalculando and how life throws things at you. I'm not going to have kids. Recalculate. Am I pregnant? Recalculating. Or I'm going to throw stile. I'm not going to have kids. I'm pregnant. Recalculating. Am I going to adopt? Am I not going to have, am I not going to have them? You have no idea. Life just happened. Get some sun. It rained in Cancun, but it's my vacation for the whole year. It rained. What do you do? It rained. You can't see any reality. Because
The opportunity to live is something wonderful. It's a beautiful gift and a unique opportunity to experience the beauty of the world and also of ourselves as human beings. Through life, we can experience joy, love, friendship, creativity, learning, and many other things that make this life beautiful. For many, the idea that life has an end is something frightening or sad. But it's important to remember that death is a natural and inevitable part of life. Thinking this way can take away our anxiety about the future and allows us to see all the collateral beauty it contains because it reminds us of the importance of living each day with purpose and meaning. To love those around us and to do what we can to create a positive impact in the world. Death teaches us that life is precious and valuable, and that every moment we have here on earth should be cherished and appreciated. Life is short, but it is beautiful. So enjoy it while it lasts, because one day, just like everyone else, you too will stop living. Forgive others and forgive yourself. Don't put so much energy into arguing over silly things. Love deeply. Don't hold back from telling someone you love them. Laugh freely. Dance without fear of looking ridiculous. Sing as if it's the last time you'll ever do it. Dare more, take more risks. Walk, stumble, get up, stumble again, get up, fall in love, fall out of love, and do everything you want and makes you happy. Life is like a party. So have fun while you're in it and laugh, cry, sing, dance, play. Worry less. Trust yourself more and have more faith in God. Do all of this starting today, from this very minute, and do it before you can't do it anymore. Comment, I will live and affirm fulfillment in your life. Affirm it, and remember that one day our time will come for all of us. But today is not that day for you. So while you still have time, make it count. About this and more, we're going to talk with a guest who really needs no introduction. He is a person admired and loved by many people because for many years, through his plays and other productions, he has touched lives in a positive way. Odin Dupeyron, here on Conquista tu Mundo, the podcast, with a very original and refreshing perspective on life, death, and everything in between. Enjoy it. I don't even know how to introduce you anymore with what honor, with what title.
what an honor, what a pleasure.
Everything, right?
Having you here is unlike having anyone else here. You're the special guest I like having.
You are that guest, my dear Odin Dupeyron. The truth is, it really is an honor and a pleasure to have you here today because before I became your colleague, let's call it that, I was your fan of your plays, your book, and everything. So for me, it's a source of pride to be in front of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And also, I'm sure we're going to help a lot of people. So welcome to Conquista tu Mundo. How are you?
Very well. Fortunately, I'm good. Just coming back from vacation, which will help me a lot. And getting back to work, starting the year, one more year.
It's great. How are the plays going now? Which one are you promoting? I have all of them.
I have a Vivir, I have 22, I have Lucas, I have Recalculante, I have this, these C, I still have all 5. Before, I used to be permanently in the theaters. And it's been, 7 years since I left permanent theater. And now I dedicate myself like a singer to touring everywhere.
That's cool. Pretty rough, right? Really tired.
Rough, but better.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's great. But look, before all this success in theater, because you've lasted, how many years have you been in it?
It's been running for 18 years. That's the one that's lasted the longest.
18 years. 18 years. The first interview I saw of you, I knew you did voices.
Yes.
You were doing dubbing, voice work,
No.
like acting.
Yes. No, what I did was dubbing. The thing is, the first interview I ever saw was with Rene Frank. Yes. I am. I was a Muppeteer on Sesame Street. So I did puppeteering. I never did dubbing. I did the voice of the puppet while I was operating it. Just like Furcio. Furcio was a little virtual puppet that I also operated with sensors on my body. And I did the voice for those two characters. But it wasn't dubbing, it was acting with my voice.
We can define you as an actor first.
I'm an actor, that's what I am. I'm an actor.
But at what point do you jump into this, like this world of inspiring people and sharing messages? Well, no, strong ones.
No, like in that video, I didn't make the leap. I was pushed into it. I didn't want to. The truth is that I stay far away from that. I'm not a coach. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a motivator. I'm definitely not a motivator. I'm an actor. What happens is that we forget that actors before, artists used to have a message, right? John Lennon wrote really awesome songs about what he thought of the war and what he thought about imagine, what he thought about no. And he wrote a bunch of songs about his way of thinking. And then everything became very commercial in life. And so, well, there are people who just want to make money. But the first actors and the first writers wanted to tell stories, to say what they thought about life and what they did. And they presented their philosophy of life through plays and painting. And so here, a painter would paint Kronos cutting Cupid's wings because he thought that time ended up killing the wings of love, right? Whose time was cutting Cupid's wings. And there he represented a whole discourse about how time ends up killing childish, absurd love if it doesn't mature. It's not that it was about self-improvement. It's not that the painter was trying to be motivational. He's just talking about that. By Victor Hugo talks about the human condition, about how the good guy isn't always good and the bad guy isn't always that bad. However,
you have your pillars very clear. I mean, there's fear in Colorín, Colorados te cuento no ha acabado. There's the topic of, well, suicide and the love of life, or I don't know, it's antithesis.
In 22.
I'm
talking about love in Lucas.
In Lucas. Then there's the desire to, well, leave however you want, but to actually leave, right?
Yes.
And so it seems like you've really hit the nail on the head with these topics that we're going to talk a lot about today. And you've become a public figure and a point of reference in this whole area of, let's call it personal growth, inspiration or whatever.
What I mean is, that's not what I do. What I do is act, put on plays, and write books about things I like to talk about, right? It's not always going to be about motivation. For example, I'm doing a play right now and it's coming up in all the interviews and it's crazy. I'm not religious. So I'm doing a play where I talk about how I stopped being religious, about my belief in God and why I stopped believing in God and all that stuff.
Well, that's how you work.
No, it's not like that. I mean, everyone is born religious. We are all born atheists, but they take us home and teach us about Jesus or not Jesus or God or whatever religion you happen to get.
Yes. Certain conditioning and beliefs.
A conditioning, if your family is religious, then you'll believe in whatever you were born into.
And you were from a Catholic family.
I was from a Catholic family, kind of a casual Catholic one. It wasn't a really strict Catholicism.
And what makes you rethink that belief or give up that belief?
Well, questioning it, right? I mean, everything, because I grew up with, God is part of a set of family ideas that I learned and that I questioned a lot. And I said, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to, no, this sounds strange to me, along with food, ways of looking at life, and ideas about what success means. I mean, it's not like everything was against God, which is how people sometimes interpret it. It's everything. And everything. What does success mean to me compared to what success means to my family? And you start to move away from ideas that aren't yours.
We question very little, right? People are taught to be born, grow up, reproduce, and die. In between, it's study and work. But it's not just that.
Like we say. I mean, it's not just grow up, reproduce, study, die. That's how we say it. And so if you have a family that's very self-sacrificing and believes we were born to be poor and to suffer, then you'll have that idea. If you're from a family that believes everyone deserves everything, then you'll have that idea. If you have one, you'll have the idea your relatives instilled in you about family. Family comes first. And that's why people put up with a bastard husband or a wife, a bitch or some ungrateful and disrespectful children, because, well, family comes first, because that's what you learned, but it still comes first. It always comes first, right? People who don't get divorced because they don't want to leave their kids without a father. And there are kids who tell their mom, just divorce this bastard already. At what point are you going to keep us safe from this son of a bitch? He hurts us.
Yeah.
But we grew up with the idea, they told us, that family, if they're the parents. That's what makes a family. Terrible. They're going to tell you family isn't the most important thing. Go on. And then maybe you miss out on a wonderful man, a wonderful woman, because yes, you have to make sacrifices. So that's what I remember about all this. What I'm talking about are my conclusions, my own conclusions. It's about what I've learned.
What makes you start questioning things? I mean, is it adolescence, adulthood, a relationship, work?
What triggers me? Well, it's something I would also love to say proudly. I always wanted to, I studied and so on. Nothing. That's just how I was born. It's how I'm wired. I mean, I was born questioning things. My mom says I was born saying, "What's up? Why? Who said? When did they say? Why did they say? How did they say? You have to. Why do I have to do it? Who said I have to do it? What do I have to?" Unless I was born rebellious. Plus the circumstances I was born in.
Kids ask why a lot. And you grew up still asking why. And many people just stay in the status quo and stop asking why. Has asking yourself why worked for you, or has it led to overanalyzing doubts, fears, and anxiety because of that?
It has always worked for me. I've been hit with doubts, fears, anxieties, and uncertainties for which there are no answers. But today, after many years, I'm happy with uncertainty. I don't know what will happen after death. I have no idea. I mean, I can't say you die, and that's it. I don't know. I haven't died, and no one has come back from the other side to tell us if there's something.
No.
So I don't know.
Would you like to believe there is, or do you not care to know?
Well, honestly, I don't care. I mean, I would love to know. I mean, in the sense that mankind could discover scientifically and in a verifiable way what exists after death, right? Because there are all kinds of theories. There are theories about reincarnation and that you go to another universe or, well, even another animal species. But we never know, right? I mean, there's no proof of anything, is there? So I think it would be cool to know, but I don't know how cool it would really be, because the moment people know for sure what happens after death, the meaning of life will be completely different. Yeah.
What is the meaning of life for you today?
It doesn't have one. For me, it's just living it. No, just living it. Life has no meaning. Odin Dupeyron think that life has no meaning. We don't know why we're here. If we're honest, we can have beliefs, and that's cool. If you want to believe that I came here because I was given an extraterrestrial mission, that's fine. If you want to believe that I came here because my God gave me the opportunity and put me here, that's okay. As long as you're not bothering anyone, it's all good. I really think that if we're being honest, we don't know what we're doing here. We tell ourselves stories. We invent them. We make them up to try to give meaning to something. We don't know where we live, we don't know where we're going, and we don't know why we're here. We've even removed ourselves from the food chain, right? We're not even part of the food chain anymore. We've taken ourselves out of the whole ecosystem. So I think that if life has no meaning, well, since we're here, we have to give life a meaning.
People like you and me follow a scientific worldview. Our belief system is scientific, and they're still beliefs.
Yes.
And we feel that we're here merely because of many chemical accidents, decisions made by many people, coincidences, and so on. And that, in my opinion, I don't know what you think is beautiful, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Correct.
But there will be a lot of people who might lose that comforting illusion and say, hey, maybe in this life I can mess up, and in the next one I'll live in a paradise where everything is forgiven. Everything. What do you think about that belief, which we respect, but people like you and me don't share?
I think that, again, you can want whatever you want. I think that if you believe in another life, then in this one, you can mess up. I think that if you don't believe in another life, you're going to try to do your best in this one, right? In this one. Because what if there isn't another one? What if there isn't? People in Recalculando, I mean, people say a lot of things. But there are people who don't. Because of their beliefs, they don't give medicine to their relatives, or they don't eat certain foods, or they don't have sexual relations. Right? And I say this in Recalculando. There are people who don't have sex because they think in the next life they'll be rewarded for being pure and chaste. Who told you that in the next life? Or what if in the next life they tell you, turns out this is the one where you don't have sex? But why? I didn't have sex in the last one. Why? Because they told me I was supposed to be chaste. Who told you that? My father? My yoga teacher? Did they tell? Who says, when did they say it? Who told you? Who told you?
This is our turn in line, and we have to make the most of it, right? And if there's anything else, well, we'll see.
We'll find out. And if not, then not. But you can't live based on something you don't know.
And we can also mess up in this life, right?
Of course. Well, we're going to mess up. That's inevitable.
What about people who might say, hey, I've messed up so much in life that it hurts just thinking about all my mistakes and everything, that their easy way out is, I want to end my life. I get a lot of messages about that. And I know you talk a lot about it in your works, especially in 22. What do you think about those people whose self-esteem, beliefs, or upbringing don't allow them to look for other ways out, and they think about the easy way out? What can you tell them?
Well, look, the thing is, there are two things. First, I don't think in any way that suicide is an easy way out. I think suicide varies just like everything in life. There are people who commit suicide strategically and do it well. Me, for example, I'm in favor of people being able to decide if they want to get involved in something or not, right? And you have to understand, life isn't mandatory. I mean, it's not mandatory. No, my mom died, my uncle died, my son died, I have cancer, I lost both legs, and I'm supposed to keep going. It's not mandatory. Maybe I don't want to keep going. Now, that's a good reason. There's a difference between not wanting to live and not wanting to live the way I'm living. It's a big difference. No, I don't want to live under any circumstances. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't want life to get better. I don't want to because I don't know. Maybe I have cancer that's going to end up killing me, or because I can't walk anymore, or because I can't do something anymore. So that's something that would have to be weighed, right? There are people who commit suicide because they know they're going to go to jail, right? And I don't want to live in jail. And I know that all this time is waiting for me, fair or unfair, whatever. I don't agree and I'm going to take my own life. Or I have cancer that's going to end up killing me. I had a case of a woman who went to the theater to see 22. She said, I came to see the play that talks about suicide. Because there are many ways to commit suicide. I mean, it's not just about killing yourself. You can starve yourself to death, or you can commit suicide by crashing planes into buildings for your religious beliefs. Or if we look at it that way, Jesus was suicidal. He said, I don't care. I would have said it. That's not true. I'm not the son of God. Nobody kills him. But he stuck to his idea until the end, even though they were going to crucify him, because that's what he came for, to kill himself. There are many ways to commit suicide. There are many ways to, for an idea, for an ideal, give your life for your child. I don't care. I mean, there are many ways to take your own life.
Yes.
Right? So that's why suicide isn't always an easy topic. But this woman said, I came with my sister. I have cancer. I've had cancer for so many years. I don't remember. It's been many years. And I don't want it anymore. I've had it there. It's happened to me here. And I don't want it anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to. I'm not going to kill myself because I'm not going to kill myself. But I am going to let myself die. I'm not going to fight cancer anymore because I've had mouth sores for 10 years, no hair. I don't want to go on. This life doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in living a life where I'm lying in bed, unable to move. So I brought my sister so I could say, leave me alone. I don't want any more treatments. I don't want any more chemo. I'm going to live as long as I can. And when cancer kills me, I'll go. And that's what she did. Later, her sister came to me years later and said, my sister lasted so long. It was amazing. At first, we didn't accept it because it was her decision not to go through it. She stopped taking chemo. We traveled a lot. And when she started to get worse, her siblings were able to come and we were all there. And she died surrounded by family. Well, she was already on medication, so she wouldn't be in too much pain. And she died surrounded by love.
Fighting with all those chemo treatments, and everything was taking more life away than just living with the illness and accepting the process.
Suicide is suddenly like the equivalent of when you go to a party and say, I brought my own car so I can leave whenever I want. I don't have to wait for everyone else to want to leave. I can go if I want to.
And don't you think it's a waste in those cancer cases, maybe because it's already terminal and well, there's not much to do and you just have to enjoy those last days? But if it's because of a breakup or because of work or something like that, of course, don't you think it's a waste to leave whenever you want when there are so many awesome things? You said it yourself. There's pizza and there are songs and there are landscapes.
And there's mole and there's sex. There are amazing things. So what I'm trying to say is what I said at the beginning. Do you not want to live the way you're living, or do you not want to live at all? Because it's different. And when people ask that question, they say, well, okay, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in misery. I don't want to live scared. I don't want to live with a broken heart. I don't want to live like that. But you can change that.
Of course.
That's not life. You can make better decisions. Quit. End the relationship. There are things you can change, right? And my message will always be, don't kill yourself over just anything. I mean, don't kill yourself just because things don't turn out the way you want.
Agreed.
No, don't kill yourself just because, I mean, I do think you have the right to say you don't want to. Everyone has that right. But also when you know you have the right to leave, you endure more. You're at a party and you say, look, can I leave? Okay, I'll stick around a little longer. Let's see how it goes. If I want to, I'll leave. Hold on. And then it gets good and you say, oh, this was awesome. And then it gets bad and you say, no, I'm leaving now. Well, I'll hold on a little longer. Let's see. Maybe soon. After all, I can leave whenever I want. When you know you can leave. In these places where assisted suicide is accepted, there are people who come with illnesses or elderly people. They come and say, all 3 of my children have died. My husband has died. Everyone is gone. I have nothing left to do. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to wait until I get sick or until I want to go to the subway. I'm fine now. I'm in my 80s. I have nothing left to do here. There's a video on TikTok where a mother is saying, kill me, please. Grandma, look at her eat. Kill me. I want to die already. Or people who have ALS, or people who have to say, that's it. They've tried to commit suicide several times because they don't want to be here anymore.
Yes.
But what I'm getting at is that in these advanced countries where assisted suicide is available, people come and ask for it and they are given assisted suicide. And they give them a medication so they can kill themselves. They give them the prescription so they can take their medication for the appointment. And a lot of people don't use the medication and don't kill themselves. But they know they have their way out. They know they can leave if they want to without having to hang themselves. Here it is. See, I'll stay a little longer.
And they stay to see if it works, or they stay because of that fear of the dragon you represent in them.
Most of the people I know, and those I've seen who have looked into this, stay because they think, I can leave whenever I want. I'll stay to see how it goes, but I can leave whenever I want.
I mean, they feel like they're taking the reins of their life in a certain way.
The reins of their life, which is what you ultimately have in relationships. You never lose your freedom. These people who say, I don't want to. Well, you can leave whenever you want. Whenever you want, you can leave. Get into a relationship. Go for it. Yes, I believe in dependence. Now we're in something, I don't know what you think, but we are in this whole don't depend on anyone mindset. I say depend. I depend on you for a relationship. I depend on you coming over, on you being here, on you coming with me to eat, on you coming to sleep, on us eating together. Otherwise, what the hell is the point? I depend. And if we're doing really well and we get along great and have amazing sex and everything's awesome, I depend even more because I spend more time with you. And of course, my well-being or my discomfort will have to be connected to the other person I love, right? Up to a certain point. Not in an unhealthy way, but yes, I depend on you. And the deeper and more amazing the relationship is, the more I depend. Because the day you leave, it's going to hurt me more when you go. But it's like, I'm not going to eat those delicious chilaquiles because then they'll be gone. So, yeah, just eat them and then you'll go to the bathroom. Eat them. Enjoy them while you have them. Once they're poop, that's it. I'm not going to cry over poop. Oh, those chilaquiles were beautiful. They're not anymore. Now it's just poop.
Someone who doesn't want to sell all their candy because they don't know what they'll sell the next day. Exactly. They don't want to sell everything.
It's the same thing. There's a commitment. You never lose your freedom. And that's what people don't understand about suicide. It's your freedom. When you have to. I also met a couple who came to see me at the theater. They were separating. And it was like, we came to see this play together because we're separating on good terms. And you talk a lot about love and how things should be done, right? And so talking there, because this happens in a discussion, I host discussions. It's not like I do consultations with people. And then these guys told me, no, well, we're going to get divorced. And I said, well, that's good. The important thing is to understand that you don't have to stay with each other your whole lives, that you don't have to lie to each other for your whole life. So it's good that they decided that. A few years later, I ran into him outside my office. Man, I don't know if you remember, we were the couple, whatever. I remember. He told me from there we went out to dinner. We said, if we give ourselves a chance, there's no pressure. Why don't we keep in mind that there's no pressure? Let's give ourselves the chance to see if you want to stay or if I want to stay or not.
They husband and wife or boyfriend and...
We haven't done it yet. Go ahead. These have been the best 3 years or the best 2 years because we know we can leave.
Could it be that you stop pressuring yourself with so many social paradigms?
That's right. And you go with the flow.
And you understand that there are problems, and then there are problems. I'm leaving. And then you don't make such a big deal because I can leave. I'm not forced to.
What do you mean? I mean, this way of thinking is refreshing. It's such a relief. How has it worked out for you in life beyond the philosophy we're talking about today?
That's just how I live.
But since people don't connect with you that way, there are people just like you, or they bring all their paradigms to the table, and then it's hard for you to connect with that person.
We all bring all our paradigms to the table, and you start to understand which ones you can solve and which ones you can't, right? And which ones you can live with and which ones you can't. That's how it is with friendships, with relatives, with relationships, with friends, right? And then suddenly you meet someone who, for example, I'm not boring at all. I don't drink. I mean, I drink, but very little. I don't smoke. I'm substance free. I've never gotten into anything. If I'm like this as I am, imagine if I were into coke, weed, or pot. So I never got into anything. First, because it scared me a lot. It was never a moral issue. I'm not religious. I'm nothing. It's more like, what if I get lost? And what if I like it? What if then I can't get this off my back? I saw a lot of people when I was young who were coked up. I mean, but no, every time you get coked up without or wasting time with weed, what are we going to do? And they say, no, I don't want this for myself. Not in a relationship, not in anything. I don't want to be wasted lying on the floor. I don't want this. I don't want it for myself. I don't want this for myself. Nor do I want to be mistreated or treated badly. So no, I'm free from substances. But then I meet you, period. And you smoke weed. I'm not saying, no, you smoke weed, then no. No, well, let's see how much you smoke. Let's see how you get when you smoke. Maybe just take a little hit and nothing happens.
See if I can get along with you. Go ahead and smoke. Yes.
No, still come to my house and, well, it's fine. If at any point you get high, you get paranoid and you get aggressive with me, then I understand that I can't handle you. If you just take a little and nothing happens and you're normal and you don't have to, it's fine.
And these decisions you make about what you do and don't want, who you do and don't want to be with, do you make them based on a lot of questioning and a very black and white analysis? Or do you do it more from your feelings? And what happens is that
once it's your philosophy of life or the way you are, well, you just do it.
You're already used to it.
You're already used to starting to calculate everything. And it doesn't become any less romantic or less exciting or anything like that. It's just as fun, just as good. You're just more aware. That's all. It's like jumping out of a plane with a parachute without thinking, or jumping out with a parachute while checking how the wind is, how many meters there are. I have a parachute that I'm going to put on. You still enjoy it. You still feel like, wow. You still feel great.
You said a word that I love, and maybe I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that. But people who study human behavior a lot, or who study society, these paradigms and everything, the more we study and the more we learn, or at least that's what we think, the more aware we become, right? And then it's like you're aware in a zombie world, an unconscious world, where people go along with those paradigms, that rhythm of life, fulfilling social requirements and so on. And it becomes hard to connect with certain people. You become more selective.
Yes.
Ha. And two, you don't put as much effort or energy into certain ideas of happiness anymore. Marriage, being a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. What's your take on that? I mean, what's up with the typical social goals? How do you see them? Like marriage, for example.
I never had them.
Okay.
I mean, I never wanted to get married. It was never about when I get married or that I would get married there when I fall in love. I never wanted that. I never defined success. It's something I talk about at the end of Recalculando. To sum up a bit of everything I talk about in Recalculando, I talk about how you have to keep recalculating in life and how life throws things at you. Like, I'm not going to have kids now I'm pregnant. I can keep recalculating, right? Or I'm going to have kids. I'm infertile. Damn. I'm going to adopt. I'm not going to adopt. Yes, I'm going to have. No, I'm not going to have. You have an idea. But then life comes and it rains on you, right? And life, I go, I'm going out to get some for the whole year. It rained in Cancun. What do you do? It rained, recalculate.
That's
can't
fight against it.
You have to get to work, right? You can't fight reality. So in Recalculando, I end up saying I never defined. I knew I wanted to write, but I never decided whether I wanted to write plays or books or journals or poetry. I just wanted to write. I knew I had something to say, but I didn't know if what I had to say would be understood by my family or my friends or the whole world or Mexico. I just wrote, and that's it. I've never had a type, not in terms of height, body type, or anything else, right? I try. My struggle, now I understand it many years later, but my struggle as a kid was not to define myself, not to say I'm an actor. No, I'm an actor and I'm a writer and I'm a director and I'm a producer and I'm a baker if I have to make cakes and I'm whatever I have to be. No, I'm not a victim. I'm never a victim of circumstances. I mean, I'm a victim because I'm a victim, but I stay there for a little while and then I move on. Okay, this happened to me. It's terrible and that's it. Let's go. What's next? I mean,
You go with the flow. Let's see if I understood you correctly. You go with the flow, you see the obstacle, and depending on what you have at hand, you decide how to jump over it, or how to enjoy it, or how
deal with it, how to cry over your wounds or how to say it couldn't be done and it's gone. Oh, well, and what's next?
Okay.
I don't spend much time lamenting or anything like that. So in the same way, I don't have goals like, I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I win an Oscar. I'll be happy when I get an award. I'll be happy when I get an award. I'm happy from the start, just like this, enjoying my coffee right now. Minero, I'm happy. If I want more, I go for it. If I don't get it, I go for something else. If I can't, well, I can't. No, I wasn't an Olympic gymnast. Well, too bad I wasn't. And I did a play, it worked out, that's awesome. I love theater, but I was a puppeteer for a long time. I did Sesame Street and nobody recognized me. And my friends who studied acting would say, but you can't be seen. And I was like, it doesn't matter, it's cool.
but nobody knows who you are.
I love it.
The important thing is that it makes you happy. That's what I'm starting to understand, that you like it and that it fulfills you.
Yes, of course.
Not living so much for the outside world, but for... And how do you manage to not struggle in this world? And so that this refreshing philosophy you have, you can actually live it despite the traffic, despite the debts, despite everything that comes with life.
Life has traffic, it has debts, it has stereotypes, and that's just part of what life is. Do you get what I mean? It's like if you go play soccer and you ask, how can you make the most of it despite the goals they score against you? It's part of life to have a goal scored against you. How can you play soccer even though you might fall and get hurt? It's part of life. It's part of playing soccer. I mean, failure, chaos. It's part of life. They sell us the idea that life has to be perfect and exact and orderly. That's not true. Life is chaos. Life is a terrible chaos that every now and then starts to make a little bit of sense. And suddenly 2 or 3 things fall into place and you say, wow, that's awesome. And we give it a lot of importance because the picture looks really nice, but it really has nothing to do with it. They're just coincidences, a transformation. Life is chaos.
In any case, we could say that you give it meaning by defining what you want.
By defining what you want and whether you can achieve what you want. Because maybe you can't have what you want. So you want something else. Thank you.
Like what? See.
I don't know. I rely a lot on nature. That's what I've always done. Like I've gone back to looking at nature. So you see 2 squirrels and you see that one squirrel took like more nuts than the other because it found them. And you don't see the other one saying, why me? Here, what a jerk. Damn it. Who was it? Nothing. They just say, it happens. I'll go look for others. And they go look for others. And that's it. Those nuts weren't there. The other one got them. Instead of fighting with the birds, they're not complaining about it. And there you see the poor pigeon that already has a little stump because it got caught on a wire. And you see it going around with its little stump doing what it can. We really humanize those things. And we say, look at that little dog. It's happy with only 3 legs. The dog doesn't care at all about having 3 legs. The dog only knows itself. Without that leg, it doesn't care. Oh, I'm missing a leg. And if I lose 2, I'll drag myself. Let's see. What do I do? It lives, goes out. If it can't get this bone, it gets another one. Couldn't handle this one. Oh well, couldn't handle this one. I'll see which one I can handle, and I'll mess with this little one. Couldn't handle this Great Dane. I'll go bother this other. We are human beings, and we can keep selling ourselves short and not be assholes, preferably. But if you're not happy with this, you can be happy with many other things.
But here comes something you talk about a lot, which is this overanalysis and this use of reason, which should be our greatest blessing. It becomes our greatest curse because we're living in our minds, suffering over the third leg, over the little stump, or the nuts.
Because they sold us the idea that we are these special beings who come to this world to have an incredible and wonderful experience. That's not true. We are just another species on this damn planet that has the ability to think and use tools and to communicate, which is a great advantage.
Besides, we don't even communicate.
But that helps life treat you better.
Yes, I
So,
agree.
like the zebra example with lions and panthers, here it is. People often use the example of emotions here. All of them are good. All of them. You just have to see what to use them for. So there are the zebras watching out for the lionesses that come to hunt them. They all run to one side and get anxious. Here come the lionesses and they're running, and suddenly they catch one and say, oh, they caught the dumb one. Damn, they ate her. Well, too bad. And they keep grazing. They don't keep running. Oh, that was horrible. They don't get up the next day saying, do you remember how we spent that day and how horrible it was for us? I can't look at the grass anymore because I'm traumatized. Nothing like that.
They don't live in stress mode all the time like we do.
No. Resolve it. Move on. If it can't be done, let's go. What's next? If you live, you experience stress. I've experienced heartbreak. I've experienced stress. I've experienced anxiety. I've experienced many things, but I go through them because of what's happening. I resolve them and I move on.
Let's see. Give me some little tips like that, so each of us can be a little more like Odin when it comes to heartbreak. How can you quickly deal with heartbreak?
I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me.
Awesome.
If you don't want to be with me, how would that even work?
Oh well.
And
Like you said, of course it hurts you, and of course it hurts.
Of course it hurts me. I would love to be with you, but if you don't want to be with me, well, I'll cry, I'll see, whatever. I had an 8-year relationship, always recalculating. I mean, I compare it to a chocolate cake. I'm looking for a chocolate cake because chocolate gives me what I want. A chocolate cake, and I found it. Damn, what a wonderful chocolate cake. And I ate it for 8 years. And suddenly I told you, I don't want chocolate cake anymore. And people immediately say, what did it do to you? It didn't do anything to me. It's been fantastic all this time, but I just don't want chocolate cake anymore. Fall in love with the cake again. Why don't you try again? No, I don't want to anymore.
Go to therapy with the chocolate cake.
Exactly. Put some cream full of apricot on it. No, I don't want to anymore. I don't want to disguise the flavor. What I don't want anymore is chocolate cake. I don't want it anymore. No, it didn't hurt me. It's just that I don't want it anymore. And it hurts me so much not to want it because it's been incredible and it's been amazing and I have to walk away. Oh, well, I guess I have to. What can I do? Should I stay until I hate chocolate cake? Eat it until I hate it?
Here, I'm going to quote someone very famous, a very well-known person who said, you want to separate because you don't have to separate. So, in the end, we make decisions based on what we feel. Of course.
And good decisions also come at a price. And good decisions also hurt. And good decisions also have a cost. They're cheaper than the bad ones. I mean, breaking up in a good way with love is hard. It's really hard. And you cry in every damn corner. And you ask yourself, am I doing the right thing or not? It's easier to become a monster, to cheat, for you to screw me over. And then I'm sure I'm going to leave you now. I'm sure you're an idiot. No. Waiting to hurt you.
Having more excuses.
When you simply don't want to understand that in relationships, you can simply not want to be in it anymore. I don't want to.
And how do you separate this from the so-called disposable culture? I mean, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But hey, we have 2 kids, and besides, we built a house, a family, and you just simply don't want to anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What can I say? Am I supposed to stay no matter what? No, I mean,
he should step up and handle his responsibility.
But you also have to gauge the other person. Do you get what I mean? I mean, if you're going to leave at the first sign of trouble, I'm the same way. If you leave at the first problem, well, then go ahead and leave.
In that case.
Because I don't want anyone who's going to bail on us when things get tough. Right? I want us to take on. The thing about life is the paradox and being able to move between these paradoxes. I mean, give it your all, put in the effort, and stay until you really have to leave. Don't stay longer than you should. Give it your best, but not too much. When love comes, go for it. Go for it. Fall in love. Hold hands. Go for it. When it's over, leave. Get out. My part is done. It's going to hurt. Leave. And keep the problems to yourself. How long should you keep trying? Until it's costing you more than what you're gaining. Like any business. This relationship, this friendship, this attitude is costing me more than it's giving me ended. The hardest part is when it's both cost and benefit. Cost and benefit. Cost and benefit. No, they say the problem comes before that. A poor restaurant is the one that's always breaking even, where you don't know whether to close it or not. Damn it!
That's the word.
It's the same with relationships, but for us, it's even worse. It's really hard for me. I get very little out of it, but when it's good, damn, it's amazing. If it doesn't work for you, if this attitude isn't making you happy, if it's not working for you, end it. Look for something else. Do something different. You can change everything 20 times, even your career. If every so often in your life, which is what I tell people, you should sit down and ask yourself, am I happy? I like my life. I like who I am. I like my relationship. I like my job. If the answer is yes, congratulations, man, keep going. No, I'm going to stay in my comfort zone. No, you're fine. Awesome. If you're happy, keep going. If the answer is no, change your city, change your sexuality, change your beliefs. Try, experiment, go question. And if you find yourself again, stay a little longer. And if in 10 years you want to change again, change. Not like an idiot. Never do anything
Calculating, recalculating, without falling into what's convenient for you.
No, not the dumb one. With a curve. Thank you.
Right?
What you're seeing is that this and this and this and this happened, and that's why I want to change. I get it now. And I mean, I understood.
With questioning, functioning. Now, I love your very objective stance because that's the word. It's very objective. It's not that it's disposable. It's not that I'm too detached from everyone. No, I'm objective. And I make objective decisions that I know, even if they might hurt me in the short or medium term, will be better for me. How can we be more objective? Because we're drowning in our emotions and thoughts all the time.
Because they don't teach us to see things as they are, but as we want them to be. You have to see things as they are, and not just expectations, which is another word. Well, I'm telling you, I'm not really much of a coach. Of course I have expectations. How the hell am I not going to have expectations? I have expectations. The thing is, expectations have to be realistic expectations. That is, if I call a restaurant and ask them to reserve a table for me at 3 in the afternoon, I expect to arrive at 3 and have my table ready at the restaurant. And if someone tells me, don't have expectations, screw you, a table better appear. Now, if I have the expectation of just showing up and getting a table because I'm the owner, I mean expectations, I'm an idiot. That's a stupid expectation. I might be a big shot owner, but people don't have to know you, man. Maybe a lot of people know me, but not everyone. And maybe you piss them off, they know you, but you annoy them and they'll take your table away. All right? Don't have an absurd expectation. Have a realistic expectation, right? I expect my partner, my wife, my husband, whoever, to respect me and not hit me. I mean, that's the expectation.
Claro.
Also, I can talk about them with you. Hey, let's go out. Just you and me. No, I want to go with you, with 2 girls and some guy. No, then I'm not in. Or, well, maybe I'll try. Let's see if I can. If I can't, I'll tell you, you know what? I thought I could, but I can't. I'm leaving. But don't tell me we're going to go out. Just you and me, and then there are 3 guys. Wait, we agree. Let's come to an agreement. And when you tell me, you know what? I'm bored of you. I want to talk to 3 other guys. Well, I'll see if I'm in or not. Or you know what? No, I can't. And let's just make agreements. That's all. The freer you are, the longer you stay in places. I'm someone who, talking about this and not defining myself, I never made or heard agreements. And that's because I don't define myself. People have worked with me for 15 years, 14 years, 12 years, 8 years. I've been in a relationship for 8 years. I've kept the play going for 18 years. I mean, I have much more stability than people who commit and want to stay.
Do you think it's because they share this vision or because you inspire them with this fresh outlook, with zero ego, zero expectations? I mean, I don't know. How do you deal with your ego?
I'm doing very well with it. Yeah.
I mean, you don't get like, I'm the humblest of them all.
Right? Well, the thing is, there's something I can really tell apart, which is what we actors call fiction. Fiction is what you have to maintain. It's a commitment we all make to enjoy something, right? So in fiction, I play a character who is the atheist, who is with this woman who committed suicide, right? And then the audience goes and says, I'm going to believe that this guy is an atheist and that this woman committed suicide. I know she didn't commit suicide. I know she's acting. I know she didn't drink poison. I know that when she's drowning, it's just acting. But I'm going to commit to believing it so I can enjoy the performance. We all agree. Okay. If someone sees him and says, hey, he's not dying, he's acting, they'll tell him, shut up, idiot. We're all here in agreement, moron, to maintain this damn fiction, to enjoy the fiction, right? And I go, and the actors on stage, if someone messes up, we try to save the fiction. We don't say, hey, you messed up, idiot. No way. No. We try to put everything into the fiction. Well, in life, we live in a big fiction where we call this a table and this a network, and we call it that. And the Oscar is an Oscar, and the star, ole, that's cool.
And money has value.
It's crazy, and money is worth X. It's a cool fiction. Why is it cool? Because if I go to a cafe, I expect you to bring me a coffee, not a pile of crap. Because we have an agreement. But now people are like, who are you to tell me this is coffee? I'm nobody. Who says this is coffee? All of us say so, idiot. All of us who agreed that this is coffee. So that when I order coffee, you don't bring me urine, you bring me coffee. It's an agreement. We all have to maintain this damn fiction where you can't just come and take a shit here in front of everyone. Who says you can't? We all say you can't. We agreed not to shit everywhere. We made places to shit. That's how we agreed. Even damn cats agree on where they have to shit. Come on, right? But we're like, who said so and how are they going to? We agree on the fiction. The problem is not believing it too much. It's not You have to believe it to live in this world and enjoy your Oscar award and enjoy your soccer game where you scored 7 goals and did an awesome job. That won't guarantee that you'll have a good relationship or that you'll be the best. You were awesome in this game. Not in all of them. I've done 5 Auditorio Nacional shows. The first Auditorio Nacional show, I did sold out 3 days before with 10 years of experience. 3 days before, people were howling and screaming and pulling me. And I have the videos. Crazy. Wow. And when I came out, they were howling and people all around and the energy of the Auditorio Nacional. Wow. And suddenly cut to. Means like in movies, you're in one scene and you quickly switch to another. Cut to. Me with my friends at home, alone. And the echo of wow, and people going crazy and clapping and howling and everyone after the auditorium celebrating and wow. And suddenly, I've played there 5 times. I don't pee gold. I don't poop any differently. I'm the same.
Exactly the same.
I have awesome, badass memories. How cool, because that's what life is about. The only way to have amazing and wonderful memories is by doing amazing and wonderful things. Taking risk, falling in love, investing in the cool things. Me, I don't want to spend half my life high drunk or acting like an idiot. Not me.
Numb.
I don't want that. I was given a blank canvas in life and people said, I'm going to put crap on it for the gram, man. Right? I don't know if I want crap. It's cool. Poll. I don't know. Leave me alone. Let me see. What should I put on it? Have I messed it up? Of course I've messed it up. But why do I want to mess it up? Because I wanted to. You know, I don't get wasted out of my mind because I want to be aware of what I'm doing. I've never woken up saying, damn, where am I? No, I didn't want to. But no, I did want to. I wanted to hook up. I wanted to go. I wanted to do. I messed up. It was a stupid thing to do. But I wanted to. I knew what I wanted. Did I do it? Did I mess up? Well, whatever. You have to be confident in life. Confident. I tell my actors when I give them, when I direct acting classes, you always have to be confident, especially on stage. You have to walk onto the stage with confidence in life, even if you're sure that you have no damn idea what you're doing. Because when you mess up, you'll be able to say, I said I had no damn idea. I was the first one to say, I have no damn idea. I'll see what happens.
I was the first one. How can we be more certain? I mean, we already know we have to recalculate and we know we need to have goals and everything. But give us a tip like that.
The ones I know, there could be several. But the one I know is this: know yourself. Go to therapy. That for me is a tool that worked. Therapy. Know yourself. Know who you are. Why are you the way you are? Why are you afraid of frogs or whatever it is? Or why are you afraid of abandonment? Why is it so hard for you? Go get to know yourself, man. See what you're a product of. Analyze your parents. Analyze your past. What did my mom think? What did my dad think? And do I believe in this? Why do I have this idea about life that makes me unhappy, right? Because there are people who want to get married because someone put the idea in their head that they should get married. And maybe I don't want to get married because I'm a super independent woman. But deep down, there's something inside that does want to get married. And until you question yourself and say, okay, what do I want? Because I grew up with this super liberal mindset because of my dad, because of everything. And I bought into this lie when I actually do want to get married and I want to stay home and take care of my husband. That's okay. I don't have to be this independent woman. I don't want to. When you discover what you want, then you can act according to who you really are, with the understanding that we can be different people at different times in life. And one day you might want to have a relationship and have something like that. And another day you might say, now I don't want it. Now, as the years go by, because you're different at 40 than you are at 30, at 50, or at 60, you're different.
But let's go back to these fictions, and we're going to talk about several of them, and you can tell me about them as they come to you. Oh, we talk about many fictions that promise us happiness, and I go back again to marriage, to children, to love, to being an empowered person who makes a lot of money, because we only relate power to money. And so when you don't live up to those fictions, or you act differently from those fashionable social norms, let's call them that, because now they even criticize women who cook. I just saw some stories from an influencer who cooked and got criticized. They said, why is she cooking? She shouldn't submit to her husband. We've reached a very radical point now. So these fictions, how do you handle them? And what do you think about these models I'm talking about? Like getting married, having children. Why don't you have children, for example?
I never wanted to have children.
You never wanted to.
The best thing about children is not having them. They're a burden. They're a hassle. I mean, I see my sister who has a daughter and my friends who have kids, and I think, damn, I'm so glad I never had kids. There are people who enjoy them and love them. I don't. I'm super overprotective with the 2 dogs I have. Everything else is already overwhelming. Imagine having a child. No way, that's terrifying. So I really enjoy kids. I love them and care about them. I care about all of them. All my friends' kids call me uncle. They say I'm a father figure for some of them who don't have a dad, and I love it. I get involved in everything. Personally, I never wanted to have kids. I never wanted to get married. I didn't want kids. Now,
but why? Because of the responsibility? Because it's not your thing? Because I don't know. How did you decide that? How?
No, I didn't want to. Like when you crave things, when you really want something, like you say, oh, I feel like it.
So you never felt the urge or social pressure? Nothing.
Nothing. Look, I'm going to tell you something that I'm writing in this book I'm working on now. This book where I talk about reality. This is already a bit too much. It's that society pressures you. Society will always pressure you. Some more, some less, always. And the pretty girl will be pressured to be pretty and to be told to be successful. And one guy gets pressured for being fat, another for being skinny, and another for being short. You have to be taller. Society will always pressure you. You decide how long you let yourself be pressured. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Justo eso te iba a
Punto.
preguntar.
Or people say, you have to write. I don't have to write. Or they say, you have to talk. I can't talk because I just don't feel like it. It's that your audience wants it. I don't give a damn what the audience wants. I have what I'm going to say. If you want to follow me, be part of my life and my art and read my books. But I'm not going to give it up unless I want to and it pleases me to do so. If not, then no. Am I willing to make sacrifices? Of course I'm willing to make sacrifices. But because I want to make sacrifices, not because you force me to make any sacrifice. You're not going to pressure me to do anything. A lot of people think that because of my speech at the beginning, when they knew me for my book in Colorado, I shouldn't curse. It's just that I do curse. Well, you shouldn't. Well, I do. It's just that your book doesn't say it, because in my book you say not to say it. So why can you do it there and not here? Because here, nobody busts my damn balls about saying it. No, here I want to curse. In this book, I don't want to, and here I do. I curse. But yeah, it really pisses me off. If you invite me and tell me, hey, you can't curse, then you know whether I'll go or not. I also know how to behave. If you tell me, hey, don't curse, I'll say, you know what, I won't go, or I'll go and I won't curse. But because I want to.
And this because I want to. And this authentic and free way of living, from what I see, hasn't it made you isolate yourself? Feel a little alone? Why don't I want kids? Why don't I want a husband or a wife?
So is it harder?
Sí es más difícil.
I don't know. Being in certain relationships, I don't want to belong to the status quo. No.
It hasn't made me. I mean, you also have to understand this. I'm a loner. I'm quite a loner. But I'm very, very lucky to have a lot of friends. Real friends. Not just buddies. Friends. Why? Because this person I am tends to form deep relationships with people. To form deep relationships. Honest ones. Right? Real ones. And to talk. And I'm the guy who starts getting involved when you say, I don't know, for example, everywhere I go, they assign me a driver to take me to the theater, pick me up at the airport, and so on. And sometimes the driver gets a call. One time it happened to me that he gets a call about something and all that. Like, man, that's tough. No. And he hangs up. And he says, sorry. You know how women are. Yeah, I know. It's just my wife telling me something. And then two things can happen. I could ask him, but what did she say? She said this, and I could say, man, your wife is crazy. Or why? Because I think this and that. Yeah, right. And why? And then we talk. And that's a little
Connection.
a deep, deep connection. Not just, like, yeah, traffic, right? It's crazy. Yeah, no. But about something that happened to you. I'm not going to ask you things. But if you tell me something, I'll answer. If you say, man, people are idiots because of this, I'll say, no, I don't think so. Because I think this or that. So sometimes that happens to me with some people. Like when my staff has an accident on the highway, on the way to Guadalajara, I start getting more calls because they give me the driver's phone number so I can tell him, I'm here, I'm coming down, I'm almost there. I start getting messages. I'm the driver for the event, whatever you need. I saw that your staff was in an accident. What can I do for you? I'll go wherever you want. People who are willing to do things for me because of the deep connection we made. So I'm not alone.
I'm not alone. I have people who are always with me. Right now, you are a man in his prime. Are you afraid that in a few years, a couple of decades, whatever, all those people you connect with will go on with their lives, form their own packs, and you'll be left behind? Relatively alone or without a pack that you've built yourself?
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'm terrified of old age. Having children doesn't guarantee that you'll have company.
Okay, yes, that's true.
No, nor that you're going to have a good time. There are people who mess up their kids who are real bastards. And just like I tell the guys, they have to tell their parents, Dad, leave me alone. You already raised me. I'm 22. Now I can do what I want with my life. Please. That's enough. Or I'm 30, come on. Let's be friends. Because what we don't understand is that there comes a time when you can't have that parent-child relationship anymore. You become equals, and now you're two adults. You're my mom, but we're both adults. In the same way I tell parents, there comes a time when you have to tell your child, look, my dear, I just don't remember. I don't know what I did. Maybe I messed up, but I didn't know. But you're 40 now, man. Solve your own damn problem. Leave me alone. Enough. Stop bothering me. I did what I could with what I had. If you don't like it, go to hell. Or, Mom, you can't come because you're an alcoholic. I don't want to hang out with you, Mom. If you want to come to my house with my family, don't drink. Because you get drunk and insult my wife and stress out my kids. I don't want to see you, Mom. I love you and adore you. But if you're being an asshole, you're not coming. I'm still talking on a phone like from the 70s, Mom. Just to finish this. Wait a second. So what I think is that, of course, I'm afraid of ending up alone. Like anyone can end up alone.
And not just alone because there's no one around, but alone because I'm surrounded by the wrong people.
Of course.
Because that loneliness of putting up with people's crap, just so you don't end up alone. I don't want that. But if I end up alone, ultimately, I'll just go, look at me with my walker on the subway. Hope that by the time I reach that age, assisted suicide will be accepted in Mexico. That way I can say, I'm bored, I want to go, and they'll give me a pill, I'll take it, and I'll fall asleep. But if not, I'll just leave. I'll go. If this isn't cool and it doesn't look like it's going to be, I'd rather be dead than bored. And I'm not going to stick around if things are really bad. I mean, life isn't something you have to force or just put up with everything. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I mean, going back a bit to the topic of kids and families and parents, I think we're the only animal species where some people keep living at home for up to 40 years, right? And with animals, well, after just a few days or weeks, they're already flying, they're already hunting, and we keep depending on our mom, our dad. That's for sure.
Yes.
And why don't we learn to do that? And in Mexico, suddenly it's like, that's your dear mother. Well, yes, but there comes a time when we're already adults. And you're the mother of an adult. You're no longer the mother of a child. You're the mother of a child and you have to speak for him. But then you as the child have to start saying, Mom, I'm an adult. And that's where the voice...
Because there's a very strong emotion there from the time you're old enough to remember and all of this, which is attachment. You think you're very detached in general. You do get attached to the things you want.
I'm both. Again, life is that paradigm between how much you have to fight and how much you don't. I believe in attachment. Of course, I think we have an emotional commitment to the people we fall in love with and to our family. Not at all costs, not despite everything, and not at my own expense. I'm going to stick with you.
So you're not cold, you're selective.
No. Yes, of course, I'm selective. But not just selective with people, but with situations too. Because maybe you and I can have an awesome friendship until suddenly you start acting really dumb and start doing things that I think are terrible, and then I'm out. And for the friendship we had, well, I'll always be grateful for it. But I don't like this anymore because after you started this business or got together with someone, you changed, which is fine. You have to make your own way. It's fine. You're free to do whatever you want. The point is not to screw anyone over and not let anyone screw you over along the way. No, not unnecessarily. There are collateral damage.
100%. And there's also a lot of collateral beauty. Sometimes when you make certain decisions without screwing anyone over, you don't realize it, and then you suffer because the decision you made didn't turn out well, and you don't notice everything else. Hello. And you have to look beyond the spectrum. Now, everything you're saying, I imagine it makes you the target of a lot of criticism.
Yes.
And from your closest circle to certain maybe followers or non-followers, right?
In the innermost.
In the innermost one, right?
In the subway.
How do you handle what people will say? That gossip, you don't care.
Yep.
You don't give people more to talk about.
Or I care about those who are close to me. When they say to me, no, Odin, what's up? And Dalia, who's with me all the time, tells me, hey, what are you doing with this? I consider it. If someone on Twitter tells me, you don't know who I am. No, you don't know who I am. And also, if someone close to me says it, well, you and I might have a problem. But if 5 or 7 people tell me, or if you who are close to me say something, I go to them and say, hey, do you think I'm doing this? Look, Dalia, I was just about to tell you, or now that you mention it, I think it could be true. Then I see. But if you tell me something and my friends don't say the same thing, then I consider it. That's life. It's about how often you say. And I always say, there's the kingdom of Dupeyron. Why? Because I am the center of my universe. Of course, I'm the center of my universe. I'm the most important person in my life. If I die, there's no more me.
Yes, so
I'm the most important person in my life. So I have my own kingdom. And in my kingdom, there's the palace. And there are those who have rooms close to mine. And there are those who live in the palace, right here nearby. And there are those who live outside the palace, who live in the town. And that's what I think about. And there are those who are banished from my kingdom. There are people who are banished from my kingdom, from my affection and friendship. Banished. You live outside out there. Get out of here. And sometimes, well, there are people who get closer and people who stay inside the kingdom, and their place in it changes as life goes on. And there are people you banish forever and never want to see again because you stole, because you screwed up, because you messed things up. In my kingdom, we don't do those things, man.
And yet, there are people who don't dare to banish someone from their kingdom because we have children together or because of some other reason. What do you think about those people who don't know how to separate certain roles, parts they play, or who simply live unhappily?
Because there's nothing more unhappy than living with the consequences of something you don't want. Because, again, I can put up with this crazy woman I divorced because I have 2 kids and I want to see my kids. And that's just how it is. I made this decision. I had these kids with this terrible woman or this terrible man. And that's just how it is. She doesn't throw it in my face when I get to him, but I do have to put up with certain things to see my kids. So everything comes down to what you gain versus what you invest. Do you get what I'm saying? So then you go around saying, I have a friend who married an idiot because she wanted to have a child. And I told her, don't have kids with this idiot. She said, I'm going to have one anyway. And I told her, you will never regret having your child because you will always love them. She said, what you will regret is being tied to this idiot for your whole life until your child turns 18.
True.
And then when he finally messed up because he was an idiot, and when we were designing one day, my dad says this to my poor son, and I tell him, and then he plays dirty and does things to him. I feel bad. And I tell him, no, don't feel bad. It's just that I chose him for you, or you chose him, but now it's your son's problem. That's the dad he got. You chose him like that, you idiot. But that's it, that's it. Well, yeah, I used to worry, stupid. I chose him for you, but now you have to deal with him. That's it, Dad. I can't sit you down and fix the damn accounts. I messed up. And now it's your son's problem. He'll have to figure it out. Show him who his father is, and then he'll be able to make his own decisions. That's how it is. And it's that simple. The thing is that
We love overanalyzing, getting stuck in the past,
sometimes, yeah,
believing that they're coming to hunt us like those animals you mentioned. Here they come. Here to eat us when the other one isn't even hunting anymore, right? And how do you get out of that mental state of overanalyzing and self-sabotage? How do you think
you need to have one. Besides your own conscience, you need to have trustworthy people around you who can help you. We all need to have about 3 friends who we know will tell us the truth. Honestly, who will tell us the truth with care, with love, or maybe not, but we have to have them. And if not therapy, a good therapist who tells you, no, right? Don't be fooling yourself. Because he told me this and this and this and this, and it all adds up. Because that's the point. That's where the issue is. When we edit for our convenience, sometimes our desire gets the best of us. We want a house so badly that, oh, he asked me for a check that wasn't even on letterhead, but I think it's fine. No, how is that fine, man? There are friends who sometimes don't tell me things because they know I'm going to say. It's because they love me a lot. That's why it hurts. What? So they don't tell me. And one of them said to me, but didn't he? Well, yes, he did pay me. So why didn't you tell me? Because I knew you were going to tell me it wasn't true. Well, yeah. We all need to have a friend who you know is going to tell you.
if you don't do what I tell you? But do you think people are ready to receive those comments, or do they just play dumb and self-edit those comments too?
It depends on the friends. But if you're aware that you have these friends who you know are going to tell you the truth, then you listen to them.
Yes, exactly.
And you also have to know that advice isn't something you have to follow. That's my advice, right? I'll do what I think is best. You'll do what you think is best. I don't stop being someone's friend just because they don't take my advice. It's just advice I'm giving you. If you like it, follow it. If not, well, I'll just watch from here while you crash and burn.
And why do you think it's so hard for people to let go of something, someone, or a stage in their life? I mean, why do we always feel the need to stay in the past and not live in the present?
Because that's what we're taught. I think there are two different things. First, we always have to be aware of the past because that's where we come from and that's where we learned from. It's important to keep an eye on it. It's important to revisit the past and look back at it from time to time, right? And to think about the future because that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life. And more or less in the present, know that you depend on these two things. But what I think is that they sell us the idea that life has to be perfect and wonderful. That we have a mission and a purpose. And that if you don't have the house or the car or the body or the partner or the success or whatever, you won't be able to be happy. Especially now that there are social media. Not everyone goes out thinking, if I dress like this, if I wear this, if I do this, if I do that. No. And only then will I be happy. That's not true. And I don't know how people haven't realized that when you see people who are totally and absolutely successful, and you can say they're at the top and have everything, and yet they commit suicide. And even Shakira gets cheated on, which is very common these days. I mean, nothing is guaranteed, man. Not even having great hips and moving them. Well, not even having all the money in the world. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. There's no security. There's no certainty. Learn that there is no certainty. So learn to deal with uncertainty and chaos and to be happy no matter what, because you could die tomorrow anyway.
De la faz. And it's paradoxical, but maybe living with that certainty of uncertainty and chaos.
Of course.
Right?
But it gives you a certain peace. It gives you real peace. Right? It gives you the peace of knowing whether you'll get out of trouble or not. I believe in God. People sometimes ask me, but who do you pray to? To no one. The only thing I can do is the best I can do. Have my mom operated on. I've operated on her several times. My mom is an important person in my life. Also my dad, of course, because of the relationship I had with my mother after my parents separated. He's very important. I think that's the only death left for me that will be hard in my life. And I know she's going to die. And I know I'm going to. And I know I'm going to cry for her. And when my mother dies, people will say, damn, we have to send Odin a lot of money so he can survive. Or we have to comfort him because Odin is going to be devastated when his mother dies. I know it's coming. I'm not stupid. I know she's going to die and that I'm going to have to swallow that bitter pill. So I spend time with her. I don't relate to her in that whole enjoy your mom because she's going to die way. No, it's not about enjoying her. We don't have a problem. But anyway, when they operated, my mom has had major surgery since I stopped being religious. which was a long time ago. I have no one to ask, no God to pray to. If I have to save my mom, I have no one to ask. Not the cosmos, not the universe, not sending golden light. Nothing. The only thing I can do is find a good doctor, have a good hospital, get the right tests, and understand that even with everything good, something bad could still happen. That life is mostly like that.
Yes. And that's one of the most effective solutions for anxiety.
Yeah.
To have a plan. If that happens, and not having a plan for catastrophic fantasies that you won't be able to face, but rather for objective things, like ideas that could really happen, and then thinking about how you would react to that, it gets rid of it completely.
And also knowing that you did what you could. This is what I had. And I did it. I got the best doctor I could within my means, with the best hospital within my means. With this, I mean, the public health system was what I had. I did what I could.
It wasn't your fault.
The rest is,
For example, what do you recommend to people in that situation? Because there's a kind of separation anxiety that makes you believe or suffer in advance over losing loved ones. What can you tell those people about death, about this life, so they don't have that constant fear and suffering that one day they're going to lose someone, their mother, their husband, their child, or whoever it may be?
well, what happens is that when it's constant, it's tough. You can't stop being afraid. You have this constant fear of loss, a constant fear of dying, a constant fear of getting sick. That possibility exists. The thing is that you shouldn't just have it because, yes, have it in like the zebra gets scared and runs away and gets to safety. It doesn't keep being afraid when it's no longer in danger, right? So say, hey, I could die. I'm going to make my will. I'm going to see my mom. Could she get sick? Or, okay, am I going to have medical insurance for chingada? Well, I already have this and now I just have to wait. Come on, let's go over here. Let's go. Let's chat. Mom, can I get divorced? Can I separate from my wife? Can my husband leave me? Can he go with another woman? Yes, it could happen.
How should they see death then? As something that is going to happen?
Imminent.
Well, but that's not
Imminent.
Imminent?
But people still, I think they think of it as we'll see each other again later. I mean, what do you think about death?
I don't know it's gonna be a big surprise for me. And I get there, my grandma's there. Oh, that's awesome. It's great. I'm gonna see her again. But if my other aunt is there, I'm gonna say, damn, my other aunt is here too. No way. Because it depends on heaven, right? Heaven says you're gonna be with your whole family. But with who? If I see one of my aunts there, I'm not going to heaven. I mean, to reunite with your family with my dad. No way. Again. I mean, it's not absurd. I mean, when people suddenly think about it, eternity, it sounds absurd to me. Or you think. You never know. I say that a lot. You get to heaven and you behave well to see your mom, your grandma that you love so much, and you get to heaven. And my grandma's in hell because she was a prostitute. How? You didn't know. All her youth she spent as a prostitute and she's not in heaven. She's in hell. I didn't know her. That version, you didn't know it. But yes,
If you had known,
I would have been a prostitute to go with her to, I mean, I don't know. It's very relative. It's very absurd. It's very illogical. So if there's something, we'll find out. If God exists and is all love and all benevolence and so on, he'll know who I am. He'll know why I think the way I do. He'll understand why. Why did he make me so questioning? If he didn't want me to ask questions, why did he make me so questioning? He could have made me less curious and I wouldn't have asked so much, right?
Why did he give me so much intelligence?
Oh, well, his plan has already been questioned. Maybe his divine plan is for people to stop asking and start taking responsibility for themselves. That would be best. But then here comes this guy making me an atheist, and so people will stop bothering me. What's up with guilt?
How do you deal with guilt? What's your relationship with guilt?
Do I believe in it? Guilt, all emotions are good. Guilt is good. Guilt helps you realize you messed up and that you shouldn't mess up again. Don't carry it around too long or turn it into victimhood. I mean, for a while. Yes, I messed up. Sorry, I won't mess up again. Do animals feel guilt? Oh, I was going to say this about relationships, also about species. There are species that live together in herds all their lives and take responsibility for their offspring and keep having bonds with each other. There are species that don't. There are species that are unfaithful for their whole lives. Most birds are faithful. They mate for life. Some vampire bats are polygamous. Some vampire bats are monogamous. It depends, right? Of course, we have a nature. But we already know that we can just ignore our nature, right? When I have a friend who says, men are designed to be with 20 women because it's our instinct. Well, yeah, but you're also designed to hunt a cow, man. And here you are eating a hamburger on the couch. If you can ignore going out to hunt, you can also ignore being an asshole, right?
Yeah.
So you start making choices. I always say that
So you don't feel so guilty. You have to be consistent based on what we talked about at the beginning about defining what it means to be consistent.
to be honest, to be clear, even with yourself.
yes,
And then that way you carry less guilt. You're going to mess up. And it's okay to mess up. And it's okay to apologize, and you're going to feel guilty. Up to a certain point, we've already gotten over it. You already hurt me, I already forgave you, or I didn't forgive you, or I don't want to see you again, or I forgive you, and that's it, or you forgave me. It's fine. Don't keep rubbing it in, because I'm not going to carry the guilt for my whole damn life. Yeah, I already asked for forgiveness. I already did it. But guilt exists in animals too. Like when you get home and your dog greets you, like, sorry, I messed up. And you close the door and say, where's the mess? What did he do with the slippers? Because you know the dog messed up, and the dog knows he messed up thanks to guilt.
Of course, and they learn.
And so they learn.
And we don't always, right?
No, generally not, because we have this dumb magical thinking that things have to play out in reality. So sometimes we go on these trips.
Very psychedelic, when life is much simpler than that. Is life simple?
Life is simple. No. I mean, life isn't easy. It has major complications, but I do think that if you look at it objectively, you can understand it better.
If it really doesn't take much from us to live a good life, right? It's like we've set a lot of goals for ourselves. In this dumb, magical thinking, like you said, that to live a good life, you have to have all these brand name clothes. The perfect relationship, the money, the kids, or telling yourself,
life is as easy as watching Discovery Channel and seeing the lions just lying around scratching their balls. It's that easy. And that hard when they have to go out and hunt, or when there's a drought and they have to look for water, right? But none of them are in competition. Like that lion and the other one have natural competition, and the gorillas beat their chests, and both of them show off to win the female, right? And two little frogs fight to see which one gets the other. But that's the drama of natural life. We as a species have a society, and we no longer have to fight with the bear, but we have to fight with our fears. The ideas about marriage and these ideas that can be beneficial are not depending on who you are, but you keep fighting with them. That's the point.
But really, as long as we exist, let's do the best we can, not mess with anyone, and mostly fulfill our role in the natural cycle and in the social world,
where we want to live.
An exact historical context. And within that historical context, we would have lived a good life.
Yes.
To be well.
Get out. Try to save up to buy yourself the flat screen. Awesome. If not, then later I'll be here with my own little issue about my little screen, Right? I have a good time with what I have. I'm going to go for more. But while I have this, I'm going to enjoy this 100%.
Your way of thinking is so refreshing. And I want some people who are connected today from my Conquista tu Mundo mentorship and my Constelación membership to be able to ask you something very specific. And that they can have this objective and refreshing perspective. We're live right here today in the mentorship. And now then, hello, Elided. How are you?
Good. Hello, how are you all?
Good. Nice to talk to you. What's up? What do you want to ask our guest of honor, even if he doesn't believe it?
Honestly, yes. I mean, such an amazing guest. I really enjoy both of you a lot. And more than asking, like I said, it's a comment and it's a thank you. Really, because Odin was one of the first people who gave me that wake-up call to be able to wake up to life, to react, and to apply myself in many things. And above all, to realize I need to live in the present, because that's practically the summary of everything they say. Live in the present, enjoy today, enjoy what you have. No, don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in the past. Don't get stuck in the future. And I think that's awesome. So basically, that was basically it. And my dear mentor as well, who reinforces all of this. I mean, now with the courses and everything, really, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for sharing this. The interview was great, as always. I enjoyed it. I mean, everyone, seriously, keep inspiring the world. Please keep going against the grain.
Thank you very much, literally.
Really, really, those who understand you and can feel, let's say, that empathy, especially for the part of, how do you say it?
Of being who you are.
I mean, just natural and free. So it's really cool. It feels really nice.
it feels good to be yourself when you see people like that, right? You think how refreshing to be able to be myself, and for whoever likes it to like it, and if not, I don't care, right? Thank you, Lidet, for your testimony, for your affection, and well, it's great that you had the honor so close of being able to say it face to face to Odin, and thank you for being with me in the mentorship and everything. So, see you soon. We send you a kiss.
Now you didn't miss it. The smile. You see, you didn't mention it anymore. That's sad.
Always, 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 we want the smiles.
Are you breaking the little heart? Oh no.
With all my affection, we send you a kiss. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you. And let's see. Well, it wasn't a question. It was something really nice, right? They say thank you to you. Yes.
Thank you very much from here.
Eileen?
Hello, we're about to see you.
Did you already hear you?
Hello, Eileen. How are you? Hello.
How are you, Johnny? Hi, Odin. It's a pleasure to see you both leave. I've been following both of your work and I love it. And my question is the following. Odin, right, Puesta, since you were talking and conversing, this part about Recalculando, and I was also lucky enough to go see you in that play, that show. You tell people that no matter how much they search and struggle, and they fall and get back up, and maybe they're already excited, they're tired, exhausted, but they get back up and try again, and they fall again, and so on, and they feel like they don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. What could you say to those people? Thank you, and a hug for both of you.
No, thank you so much. Well, look, again, I'm not a coach. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. I didn't study any of that. I studied acting, but I can speak from my own experience. There was a time when, after finishing my acting degree, there was no work. There was no money. I didn't get picked for anything I auditioned for. And so we kept trying, and everyone would tell me no when the role comes, when the opportunity comes, when it comes. And there was a moment that stuck with me in life when I thought, what if it never comes? What if the role never comes? Not the character, not the money, nothing? Am I going to spend my whole life waiting for that moment to come? No, it might not come anyway. My life is going to be about hustling and never accepting it. So I'm going to be happy with what I have, with what I've got. That's where the 600 pesos from Avivir come from. We only have 600 pesos. Let's all go to the movies. This is what we have. I enjoy it. I'm going to keep hustling. And if I hit it big one day, that's great. And if I don't care. I'm going to be happy. Never underestimate my need to be happy, regardless of the circumstances. If I have to keep hustling my whole life, then I'll keep hustling my whole life. And if I never make it, then I never make it. There are ants that work their whole damn lives carrying things and hustling, and they die like that. That's just how it is. If I have to keep hustling, I'll hustle, and I'll be happy while I'm hustling. And if I don't get to where I wanted to go, then I didn't get there. But I'll keep hustling, and I'll be happy along the way. I mean, what if I never make it? What if I do make it? Now and then, it all ends. There are a lot of actors who were really famous, and their lives ended in poverty. Maybe I'll end up poor, too. Well, whatever. I'll be poor.
And now that you mentioned this about being happy, am I going to be happy? A lot of people think happiness is this euphoria, jumping in the street and fireworks all day. For you, what is happiness? Having a good time.
Being in agreement with yourself, being okay, being well. Happiness is being well. I agree with being at peace with myself. I am at peace. I am calm. I have to hustle. I have to fight. I'm going to cry. I'm going to suffer from heartbreak. But I'm okay. My struggles are worth it. They're worth it because it was for something cool, because it was from working hard, because I'm tired from something I really liked and I'm giving it my all and I enjoy it.
I mean, savoring the sweet and bitter parts of life, because that's life.
But because it's yours, not because of my dad or my mom. And then I'll realize that the spiritual side told me and I'm suffering over some nonsense that I didn't even really want.
So Eileen, what do you think? Was that answer clear to you? Was it objective or not?
Yes, of course, absolutely. It makes sense, like with many things. And this will also kind of makes my brain short circuit and say, perfect, thank you so much.
And your brain short circuits because it's so simple, it seems unbelievable. Dude, and that's cool. The paradox of this life, that there are things we were taught have to be so difficult and so hard to achieve. Including happiness, we can't conceive that it could be so simple, not easy, or, well, not so effortless. To be well, to be at peace, going after what you want and not what you were told you should want, and that short circuits your brain.
And if you don't get there, nothing really happens either. You don't have to get there. Yes, in 22, I say a phrase where I say you humans, because the character I play in 22 supposedly isn't human. They're obsessed with getting there. They want to get there. They want to get there before anyone else. They want to get to who knows where, get to what. Where is the first one going to be? See, right now with everyone on social media, woo! Woo! Come on, say it. Book idiot, shut up. Woo! What? Book. No one is as fun as they say they are on social media.
Hey, speaking of that, why don't you follow anyone on social media? You have 0 followers, followings, follows, because it's very useful.
Because I have my friends. I mean, it's already hard enough to have the 2 or 3 friends I have here in my daily life. Besides, am I going to be looking at information? I don't even watch the news anymore. Whatever is important gets filtered to me through people who tell me, hey, did you hear about what did she do? What did she post? Don't tell me, and then I'll know if I want to stay or not, but I don't follow anyone. I'm not interested in anything. I do go into things and watch, and I stay on TikTok watching videos, but I don't follow anyone because I don't want to get notifications about anything.
Well, yeah, and it gives you peace. Yeah. Let's see if we can make it a challenge to get you to follow us at least for this afternoon.
I don't need likes. I don't need anything.
Right. However, if you keep up your social media,
Because that's what I do. Because I mean, it started happening to me with social networks. That it's like the prostitution of private life, my life. But I'm not posting, I'm cooking, I'm having sex, I'm cooking, I'm lying here in bed. I never say that. No, I don't put that out there now, unless it's for my mom who's having surgery. I don't talk about my private life, nothing. It's my private life. I don't prostitute it, it's mine. Maybe one day I'll talk about something or not. And a second later, they say to me, hey, you talked about a relationship you had like that, so why don't you talk about this one? Because I don't want to talk about this one. I mean, just because I talked about one,
right?
If I invite you to my house once, do I have to invite you every time? There will be scenes where I don't want you to go. There will be things I don't want to tell you. What are you talking about? Right? Okay, as journalists, you invited me to your boat and not this one. Why don't I want to invite you to this one?
All right.
So no, that's not why I exploit my private life or anything. I talk about work and ideas and things.
And of course, if what I do works for someone, that's great.
If not, move on to the next TikTok just keep scrolling.
Exactly. I love this. Well, Ingrid, thank you so much. Sending you a kiss too. And now we move on to our next question with Edward. I think it's Edward. I think this is the episode where I've spoken the least out of all the ones I've done, which actually gives me a lot of peace of mind. We're going to invite you much more often.
I talk and talk and talk and talk.
I love it. I really do. Because not only do I learn from you, but I also agree with you on many other things. Well, that's the idea. It's just that sometimes the guests have to be warmed up because they don't open up. And there are others where you just hit start. And that's it, like here with Edward. Hi, Edward. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon. How are you? How are you doing?
Nice to meet you too. What's your question?
Well, my question goes beyond the topic, because I mean, as far as moving on, I've already done that. And I mean, I'm fine with myself nowadays. The question goes further because in December, when I was 24 or 25, it had already happened. I mean, I went through a moment that really surprised me in my life. So obviously, I have always believed in God. It's just that I haven't attended church very regularly. And so I see that all of you give a very important message to humanity and to all of society. So my question is, actually, did I write it Loishingan? I think I made it in those comments they were making. What is Twitter? I also asked the questions over there, but I phrased them very differently from how I have them here in the notebook. How can we get the message across faster so that it creates an impact on society? That rules and norms can be followed, or that God's will must be peace. So that suddenly there is less war, there is peace, and well,
This is your well-structured question.
Let's see. Try to ask us a little more clearly because I'm not understanding you very much. Not much. Like a little less convoluted. What is it? I mean, how would that question be? Because it sounds kind of far away, so we're having a bit of trouble.
I mean, how can we create a bit more impact so that we actually follow the laws? Because nowadays, I mean, the laws exist, but we don't follow them. Do you get what I mean? Very few people actually follow.
See, yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you something that I think is important. I'm not a believer. So God's laws, I don't think they exist. Because those are laws according to religion. We'd have to see which God we're talking about. Whether it's the God of the Jews, the Christians, the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, or the one from, what's the name of that other religion? Where women have to cover themselves and all that. The Muslims, that one. We'd have to see which God. So moving from that to human laws, which are the ones that have brought us here. Now, don't rape the young lady. I don't want you to rape her or sleep with her. Don't steal. Don't do things you shouldn't do. But I think we'll never reach a point ever in life where we are completely at peace. Because human beings are inquisitive by nature. It's in our nature. Humans don't grow because of what they know. They grow because of what they question. They grow because of what they challenge. So if we want to reach a place of peace where there are no challenges and everyone obeys, that's a utopia. It's not going to happen. What should happen is that we spend most of our time as best as possible, where we learn to respect each other. Are very advanced countries with very advanced societies, and they're generally atheist, where they respect others and know that they live in a community. And like all other animals, there are always wars among ants, but do they respect? There are certain codes that are established, that are respected among wolves and packs and within the same species. So I think that's something we can aspire to be able to create codes and respect them more. But how can we get people to understand more? Well, I have no idea, and I don't even think it's about a place.
There could be some harmony, but no, I also don't think this utopia of a robotized and perfect world will ever exist.
Where there is peace and where...
Otherwise, we would stop being human.
And what we could do is aspire to having challenges and conflicts be more worthwhile for important things. Not just because of Christ's nails or because my belief, my Santa Claus beats your three wise men. I think that's what we have to aspire to. That conflicts between human beings are not over stupid things. Not because of who you sleep with or who you like, but for important things that help us grow as human beings.
And that help us grow, and that we can also reconcile perspectives, which is something that doesn't happen today. The world is very polarized, and everyone thinks they're right about everything just because they heard it on TikTok or from a politician or something like that. And they think they're right, and they don't understand that all of us have a belief system based on someone or something that someone else said. Someone said it, or someone claimed to have proven it with a study of this size, but we have no real proof ourselves. So the only thing left for us is to listen, see what works for us, like you said, and see what we don't agree with.
And know that there are things that science has reached just by making rough estimates. I mean, we don't know if science is perfect because neither you nor I know that. But just by making rough estimates, science has brought us this microphone, this phone, these cameras, and we're connected. That's what science has brought us. Nobody sent it back over the internet, and the internet was given to us. Nobody decreed that the internet should be given to us, and bam, the computer appeared. No, it was science. The people who studied, who made vaccines, who made medicine, who did science, that brought us all of this. Nobody did it. No saint, no shaman, nothing. Science did it. So just by making rough estimates, it's science. Most of the time, it's probably right, even if I can't prove it. The world around me proves that science, physics, chemistry, biology, the study of how things work is what helps us move forward. So I have great trust in science, more than in anything else. So even though I can't personally guarantee that the earth is round, just by common sense, it must be. Because science has mostly been right.
In all this. Okay. Yes, it's a belief system that at least backs up everything it says with a lot of information and not just anything.
Vaccines, blind faith, exactly.
Everyone respects each other's views, but I share your same belief system, which is scientific.
No, but also, we respect up to a certain point. There are things that shouldn't be respected. There are things you don't allow.
Like what?
Like that. Like, hey, no, wait, yes, get vaccinated because we're all living in the same place. And because of this, because it's already proven, because nobody wants to put a damn chip in you. Where are you getting this crap from? There's no chip. It doesn't exist. Just get vaccinated because we're going to die. You're just making things more complicated, aren't you? Like I saw it. Like history tells us, just by common sense, let's go back and say, we shouldn't have slaves. Because no, I used to like it a lot. But no, because it doesn't work. Because we've already lived through it. Because that's it. Stop talking nonsense. Do you get what I'm saying? I can't respect this anymore. That's it. To have a tolerant society, we have to be intolerant of the intolerant. You have to show respect. And if you don't, go to hell. Stop talking nonsense. We live in a society.
100%.
So calm down.
What happens is that now everyone has a voice, and they think that the right to have an opinion makes them feel obligated to have an opinion about everything or to spread their own misinformation.
When Socrates said, I only know that I know nothing, he didn't say it like, I'm super humble. I only know that I know nothing, but I'm super. No, what he said is, I only know what I know. But I also know what I don't know, because if I know what I don't know, I'm not going to go around talking nonsense, because I know that I don't know. If you ask me, how would you do open heart surgery? I have no damn idea. How do you not know? No damn idea. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know about that. I know that I don't know about that. I talk about what I know. And this I know and I share it. But this I don't know. I know what I don't know. I'm not going to talk to you about how the economy in Mexico works. I have no damn idea. I don't know. I know what I don't know. So I pay attention to stay informed.
Exactly. You watch who you pay attention to. That's why Odin doesn't follow just anyone. Or in this case, doesn't follow anyone. Because he takes care of what he puts in his head.
Very important.
Of course.
The algorithm too. When things are done to me, I start to see other things that I never did before. I mean, I don't just watch atheists. I start to see priests and other things so that the algorithm doesn't just show me information that suits me.
And so you have balance and match perspectives and you draw your own conclusion.
Now that I'm writing the play about God and I was talking about women and all that, I started watching TikToks and started looking up social media about priests and so on and about feminism and those who are against it and in favor of it and a whole series of things. And suddenly I wanted to buy a dog. So I also started looking up dogs. And then suddenly I thought about a video of a dancing dog and the voiceover went like this, takata, takata. And the dog was dancing while it was in a church. And I said, the algorithm is telling me, should I throw a feminist dog at this idiot because of a religious thing?
They don't even know how to attack you.
You can already tell the algorithm already knows what to send me.
That's really cool. Well, Edward, we hope we've given you something valuable, which was probably a lot, but you'll have to interpret it and break it down a bit more yourself. Theon, we're sending you a hug and moving on to the last question to close out this section of Constellation. Dude, you're really fun and also very wise. I like it. I like talking. That's cool.
That's cool.
Hi, Luz. How are you? Is it really Luz? She's chatting. I think she's not paying attention to us anymore. Or she can't hear us or what?
Or she muted us and is just saying, this asshole, shut him up already. It's just that she's at work and they're not allowing her to talk. Probably it's just that they'll hear me and realize I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. So she wrote the question.
Then it's not that Luz, it's the other Luz.
How many lights are there?
As many as you need.
Exactly. That's it. And besides, is she from Venezuela? Or...
From Venezuela. From Venezuela.
Yes, I already heard you.
Let's see. Let's see. No, first of all, it's super refreshing to listen sometimes. I don't agree with everything, but your comments are totally valid. And in some cases, I feel the same way. And I think that in order to truly honor that freedom, we all have to think differently. I really wanted to ask you 3 questions. And more than questions to find answers, it's to hear your thoughts.
I think.
Because I think we grow and enrich ourselves precisely from differences of opinion.
Yes, and I don't have definite answers, but what I can say is my point of view. Clearly.
Perfectly correct.
Yes, clearly. No, it's not clear either. Calm down, Luz.
But I think...
Clearly you don't have answers. I mean, calm down.
Because there are millions of people in the world, and it's not an absolute truth. That's something that... I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Lately, yes, I have been internalizing a lot. But I'm going to ask you my 3 questions, all 3 at once, and then you can decide how you want to answer them. The first one is, what are your thoughts, or what do you think about the expression? We can do anything, but we shouldn't do everything. Understanding this in all its shades, even the extremes. The second is, what is your opinion, given all the freedom you express in who you are, about how you differentiate attachment from a normal process of emotions? I mean, what could make you think that a person is still attached to something, or that they're simply riding the roller coaster of their emotions on the way out? And the third is, in my opinion, we are body, soul, mind, and spirit. Where do you think the spirit and the soul fit in, based on the fact that your beliefs or your foundation of values, no, not values, your foundation of beliefs is based entirely on sciences?
Okay, I already forgot them, but I'll start with the first one, which I remember more or less.
All right, I'll remind you of
Yes, what's the first one?
The first one is... Well, no, I remember the last 2. Ha! Ha ha! I think the first one didn't land. First one?
I remember the first one. Yes, about the difference. About the difference between not being able to do everything and being able to do anything.
But yeah.
First, I wouldn't believe that. I think we can't do everything. There are things we can't do. You can't do everything. It's an absurd idea. If I can do it, you can do it. No, why? Because you're 2 meters taller than me. I mean, maybe I can do it with a little ladder. Or maybe I can if... I mean, right now I can't compete with the best tennis player in the world because I'm not a tennis player. Because I haven't learned tennis because I'm 52 years old. I mean, there are things I won't be able to do. I couldn't be an Olympic medalist anymore. I couldn't do it. Right? There are things you won't be able to do anymore. Or that you could do if you... Yes, with great effort. So you can't do everything you want. And yes, I agree that not everything you can do, you should do. Right? There will be things you can do, but you shouldn't do. And there will be things you don't want to do that you have to do. One of those things is being an adult and being a good human. It's knowing that there are things that aren't your fault, but they are your responsibility. If I have a puppy, it's not my fault if it poops in the neighbor's yard. It's not my fault. It's the puppy's fault. But it's my responsibility because it's my puppy. So I have to go pick up the poop from the neighbor's yard because it's my dog. It's not my fault, but it's my dog. And it's my responsibility. And that's part of being an adult. So knowing, for me, in my philosophy, you have to distinguish between what you must do but not what you owe according to society, what you owe to yourself, what you deserve, what you are entitled to. That is what you owe the most, what you owe to yourself. I want to be with this woman, but she mistreats me. I shouldn't be with this woman. I don't owe it to myself. Because she mistreats me, because she treats me badly, because it's messed up. I want to, but I shouldn't. Or getting into messed up stuff. I want to have a trip, but I don't owe myself that because you're going to mess up your damn mind. Because you saw that people ruined their lungs there. Your other friend got stuck on the trip. Idiot. Why do you put that stuff in your body? I have friends who look like the TV stayed on in their heads, right? You think, what's going on? I don't want that. So you shouldn't do it. Try to do things that you should. Try to do what you owe yourself, what you deserve. That's the first. Wait, I make sense of what you said. The second one, did you remember the second one?
Not anymore. Attachment. How do you tell the difference between attachment and this?
Not anymore. I remembered a while ago. Yes.
It has to do with several things. One is time, and the other is the well-being or discomfort it brings you, right? I mean, if you say, I'm not attached anymore, I've already forgiven, but it still eats you up inside, and you're still not, okay? No, you haven't gotten over it. You haven't gotten over it. I'm sorry, because this still affects you. One time a woman came to the theater to tell me, hey, look, because people ask me questions like you do. I tell them, no, I'm not a psychoanalyst. I don't have answers. And people come to me like, hey, look, this is happening to me. No, I don't give advice. One time a woman came to the theater and said to me, hey, how can I get my daughter to come back home because she left? I have no fucking idea, ma'am. What would you tell me? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know you. I don't know your daughter. But maybe if I talk with you for half an hour, I'd say, no, wait, don't even come back because I'd want to leave too, honestly. After half an hour, I can't stand you anymore, right? I mean, I don't know what your relationship is like. I can't give you advice. I don't give advice, but I can give you my point of view. So one time a woman came to the theater to tell me, I had a terrible father who hurt us a lot. Eventually I went to therapy. I understood why he hurt us so much and why everything happened, and I forgave him. My siblings tell me that I haven't forgiven him because I don't want to see him. I don't want to spend Christmas with my dad. Well, you haven't forgiven him because you don't want to see him? It's just that I've already forgiven him, but I don't want to see him. And am I wrong? And I told him, I think you're fine. I think I can tell you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Go on with your life. You're not going to make me angry anymore. This doesn't affect me anymore. I just don't want to see you.
Yeah, I don't want you back in my life.
In my life, right? And that doesn't mean you've already gotten over it. So it seems to me that one of the first points is, how does it still affect you? How is it still stealing your peace? It's still stealing your peace and well-being, and it keeps feeding your fear or anxiety, or you haven't gotten over it, and you need to get over it. And two, time. I mean, if you need to cry over a relationship for 2 months because it hurt you, cry for 2 months. If it's 6 months, it's 6 months. If it's a year, it's a year. If it's 3, come on, go to therapy. Has it already passed? You want to get over it after 3 years. Come on. There are people who tell you, my mom died. It was horrible. I don't know how long ago, 22 years ago. Come on, seriously. Sorry, but seriously, you need to get over it already. I mean, if I have cancer, yeah, okay. If I cry about it. If I suffer. But then what? What's next? If you're still crying because you had cancer 15 years ago, why? Why? Me, for example, now that people question things that happen to them in life, terrible things have happened to me in life. Terrible things from childhood and all that, but I've never felt like a victim. And right now, I'm never going to go around saying, oh, what I went through was abuse and I was mistreated. I'm not going to cry about it. That's it. The trauma is over. And if I don't have it anymore, I just don't have it anymore. I'm not going to get traumatized now over something that didn't traumatize me 20 years. No, it's over. Period. Time matters too.
I mean, how do you know, or did you never really give it the importance it deserves? Or, I mean, the importance for it to become a trauma?
That's a whole other little bundle to unpack another time. It affected me, of course, but I've always been a survivor. I mean, when you can't even question if there's another possibility of being a victim, you don't do anything.
Sigues.
Like little animals. Little animals don't say, oh, it's wrong that they hurt my paw. They just keep going, even with the hurt paw. They don't question it. Yeah, they just keep going.
Their sense of stress gets triggered and they feel the need to overcome something, but then it turns off for them. For us, it stays on.
And with this, I don't mean that you're not a victim, but it happens to everyone. I don't know who here has kids. But you know that thing they say, your first child falls, you rush to pick them up, check if they're okay. Oh, what's wrong? And the child cries. And when the third child gets hurt, it's like, don't even look at them so they won't cry. Don't look, don't look, don't look. Because if you tell your child you're crying, you're hurt, they're going to think, I have this option. Maybe they didn't even know they were supposed to cry. Maybe they could have just brushed it off and that would be it. Many times that's how we learn in life. Let's say I fell. Oh, are you okay? Keep going. Come on, it's okay. Nothing happened. And you learn it's not a big deal and you keep going. If not, sit down, take your time. Every fall will take its own time. It happened to me that I didn't have time. No? So yes, I have been a victim. Yes, I have suffered many things, but I mean, they were already resolved at the time. I go to therapy, I resolve the ones that really affected me, and now I'm free of guilt, free of everything. My life is just a story.
Man, I really need to meet your therapist. I mean, I can't understand who could get into that mind so structured in such a cool way. But maybe even traditional therapy bores you. You have to be someone very objective too.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I've had 2 therapists in my life. I've had many, but the ones I've stuck with have been 2 very intelligent people. It's not because they just said things, but because, they ask you questions that make you go, damn, damn, damn. And they shake you up and you end up saying, no, I want to go back. What the hell? I hadn't thought about this.
Claro.
So everyone is really good. Yeah, very smart. Because I also consider myself a smart person, but my intelligence also lets me bullshit myself in very smart ways. So when something isn't working, I know something is wrong. I don't see it. And I go to a therapist and say, this is wrong. I see it as fine. Well, you're being dumb because it's wrong. I mean, it's wrong. I'm having a hard time. It's not okay. It's not okay. Something here isn't working because I should already have what I'm looking for and I'm anxious. It's a solution. So that would be the second one, right? I mean, the time and how much it affects you. Natural process to get over things. But now.
De acuerdo.
Thank
Sí, el
you.
apego.
And there are the Spaniards, and I'm still like, no way.
mames,
You weren't
sí.
even there in that damn mess.
The truth is, I nailed it. It's a decision you make every day, even if it's on a more unconscious level. But it's a decision to stay in that feeling of suffering. Is there a third one you can remind us of?
About God and about oneself.
What is the soul and the spirit for you?
I don't believe in the soul.
I don't believe in the spirit.
I don't believe in the spirit.
No, I think we are the mind, of course. We are the body. We're in a body. Here we are. We're made up of chemistry, physics, and biology. We're the substances this brain secretes. I think that if the soul exists in some way, it exists in our head. What we have is consciousness. Consciousness. If there's anything I could call the spirit, it's consciousness. And what if there are different kinds of consciousness? Some people are more conscious than others, but we all have consciousness, and humans have self-awareness, which is something even more complex. And that's what makes us have all these ways of judging. They did an experiment where they had a computer play a game of Jeopardy. This is a show with very important and deep questions and a lot of general knowledge. And man, you have to be very smart and brilliant to know them because they're structured in the form of an answer. So you have to come up with the questions. So they made a computer. They put a computer to compete with the smartest guy, the guy who's won all the Jeopardies, the most brilliant one. And of course, the computer beat him just like that. Now, the computer knew it won. The computer was happy. Because what did that do to it? Yeah, of course not. It doesn't care. The computer isn't conscious, but we can say, hell, yeah, I won or not. It doesn't give a damn. And that has to do with the brain, with the consciousness of who we are. So is there a soul or a spirit? More than in a spiritual or magical way. I see it as a series of neural connections that make us this animal. Prodigious, having the enormous fortune to exist in a world with these abilities. And that seems to me a greater miracle than anything else. I have the enormous fortune to exist. I exist. I'm aware that I exist. Damn, that seems more important to me than having a soul.
I feel the same way. Honestly, I have nothing to add. I feel the same way. And I think that when people say someone has a beautiful soul and all that, they're referring to that personality that is formed from everything. The neural connections and the stimuli you give it and how you react to what happens to you and how you think.
I think I have a book where I talk about the soul and I say, I think we use the word soul or spirit to talk in a poetic way about something very beautiful that human beings have. Exactly. About that beauty that exists in an inexplicable way. Even though we are sometimes a mess as a species, this beautiful thing we have, we call it the soul, or you fall in love with your soul. Because with the soul, we talk about depth, and I love the word. I'm not saying we should remove the word soul from our vocabulary. Let's not use it.
It's cool. And beyond the soul, beyond consciousness comes energy. That's what we are, and it's been proven. And that's what Odin was saying, that we are biology, chemistry, and physics. Yeah. That eventually, one day, it will return to the origin, but it won't have consciousness. And I think just like you, that human life is distinguished by its consciousness. I mean, because they say there is life after death. Because our energy is neither created nor destroyed, it only transforms. Yes, as energy maybe, but as Odin or as Johnny. I don't think we'll be there, because our consciousness, which makes us who we are, won't be there. So is that what this whole chapter is about? We've said, let's enjoy this one life we have and probably make the best of it and without messing things up, right?
And all these things they say are poetic. And that's fine poetically. But it's not like you're never going to die. Just because your cells will become part of a plant. But I won't be here anymore. That's just how it is. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Not because you keep living, because your dude is going to...
Well, we hope we've given you a lot. Thank you very much for these 3 questions. Luz answered them in detail, and honestly, that's wonderful. Let's take these off, my dear Odin, and let's move on to the final part of this spectacular episode that has been spectacular, which are the awesome tips.
Come on. How about the awesome tips? Nothing too compromising.
Nothing too compromising. They're awesome tips about 4 pillars, the ones I constantly try to talk about in my content and in all my courses and so on. The first is your relationship with the past. And here I want to ask you, a lot of people, because they have a bad relationship with the past. They fall into this depression because of prolonged sadness, because of ongoing suffering, and they get used to that sadness. What do you recommend to those people as a great piece of advice to help them fight that depression, beyond going to therapy or anything else they can do for themselves?
Man, it's just that beyond going to therapy, it's very complicated, because when you're talking about the past, you're talking about your own interpretation of the past. And you need to have a new interpretation, and to be able to have new interpretation, you need to have new points of view. So maybe it's not therapy, but good friends. Sometimes good friends are therapists. But to be able to change your idea of the past, you have to be able to change where you're looking at it from. Because more important than reality itself is how you tell yourself the story of reality, what you say to yourself. For example, one of the things I'm writing right now in my books, it's been studied that when babies are born, they cry. And the bundle, that's what I call it, because it's not the mom, it's the dad. The bundle, because babies just see a bundle. They don't even see a shadow. They feed them and they cry, and a bundle comes and puts them to sleep, and a bundle and the bundle and the bundle solves everything for them. And so they start to believe they're the center of the damn universe, and that they're like jade because they do things. And the bottle moves and it comes boom. So I move everything. I just discovered that here I move everything. So if my sister dies, it must be my fault. And if my parents die, it must be my fault. And that's the first trauma of a human being, believing they're guilty. And so sometimes you grow up with that, and later you kind of understand that it wasn't your fault. But sometimes you still have to go back to the past and explain it to that child you once were. It wasn't your fault. It was your dad who was an idiot. It was your mom who was a jerk. It wasn't your fault. So sometimes you need an outside perspective to help you see it. So you can say, damn. So how can you fix your past? By having another point of view about your past. How can you redefine that story in a way that's real, without fooling yourself or making things up?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, the best advice is to change the perception you had at that moment about a certain situation, thing, or person.
Maybe what else it could be.
Exactly. And also maybe see the lessons, the things you learned, whatever good there was as well. And then from thinking differently, feeling differently, and acting differently. Correct. I love it. Now, badass advice to become the best version of yourself. And this refers to your relationship with yourself. How can I get along better with myself?
Get to know yourself, know who you are. Ask yourself questions. Who am I? Why am I like this? What am I like? How have I been? Ask your mom. What was I like when I was little? What did I want when I was little? Oh, look, that's funny. When did I stop liking this? Why don't I like this? Why not? Ask yourself.
And talk to yourself?
Talk to yourself and talk to others about yourself.
Yes. Right? Yes, just like you get to know someone by talking to them, you talk to yourself.
Yeah. How? Of course. And again, too. I always go back. I went back to therapy. All depth is a path inward. Inward introspection is wonderful. Ask yourself important questions. Read awesome authors. Cultivate yourself. Get to know yourself. See what you like, what moves you, what you don't like. Why do you like what you like? Why don't you like what you don't like? When did you decide? And you can change. People sometimes say, it's just that I'm not like that because I'm not a hypocrite. We're all hypocrites. No one was always the way they are. We all became who we are in some way. Because we learned. This worked for me because I had to be so damn stubborn all my life to survive a crappy dad. But now I don't have to be that stubborn anymore.
No.
It doesn't work for me anymore. I have a friend who had 4 brothers. So when the ear-shaped piece of the sweet bread came around, she had to fight for it. I grew up. She was about 19 or 20 years old when I started acting. And so she's my mother. And I said, why is it such a big deal? Until suddenly I started to get to know her. And I said, the thing is, you grew up thinking that if you didn't fight your 4 brothers for the damn ear, but your 4 brothers aren't here anymore. And you're an adult woman. I don't want you to say anymore, hey, this is my ear. I'm splitting it. Right? Because we're among adults. You don't have to act like a crazy mess anymore. Say, hey, this one's mine. And you'll get respect.
course, totally. Awesome advice for your goals. There are a lot of people who believe, and I know you don't believe, and that's why I'm asking you, in just declaring things into existence without taking action. What can you say to those people as awesome advice so that what they think they want or want to achieve, they can actually achieve it, have a real chance to achieve it?
There is no certainty. The only thing. Look, if I have a secret to life, it's this one. That's the secret to life. Work hard. Work hard. If you get tired, you sit down, you rest, have a little wine, a beer, a Coke, whatever you like. Then you get up and get back to work until you die. You work. There will be things you get right. There will be things you don't get right. And that's it. Just keep going. Keep going. That's all. Try. You keep changing your technique. It's not this way. It's that way. There are thousands of doors, thousands of ways to be happy. Thousands. So many ways to be happy. It's not just one, not just being a writer, a singer, whatever you want. I made cakes. I made cookies, papier mâché, just to see what the hell would pan out. That's why I said what I said earlier. I don't define myself. I'm an actor. I'll do it. I'm a director. Sure, puppeteer. All right, whatever I need to do. What I want is to be happy. What I want is to be well. Content, live well, be well. That's what I want. And if you read, tomorrow I have to make cakes, I'll make cakes. And if I have to bust my ass, I do it. I work hard. And that's it. That's what I mean. I don't decree, I don't ask. Because it doesn't even exist. I mean, I've played the Auditorio Nacional 5 times. The first Auditorio Nacional with a vivir, with a monologue, written by a Mexican. Performed by a Mexican. Produced by a Mexican who also wasn't a TV or movie star. When I started a Vivir, it was impossible to declare something like that. It was unimaginable. I mean, there wasn't an actor who would ever say that. You didn't even know it was possible to do that. It didn't exist in Mexico. I've achieved something that no other actor had achieved before. 18 years of a monologue. And to do what was impossible to manifest. What did I do? I hustled little by little, moving forward with what I had. Things come up and I just do them. Life. And I'll finish with this because I'm running out of time, is a game of Tetris. Life keeps handing you blocks, the little square. Didn't you just give me the square one? And suddenly you say, wow, this is magical. Because you have to go for the things I'm declaring. Until you get the damn stick and you say, no, damn it. I put this stupid thing here. But if I put it there, damn. And then suddenly I get something that saves my life. And you say, oh man, that's great, damn. The only thing you're doing is arranging what life throws at you. And sometimes it fits and you think it's magical. And sometimes I really wanted this little square to go over here. No, Tetris isn't giving you what you're asking for, idiot. It's giving it, and sometimes it fits, and sometimes it doesn't.
Cool.
And sometimes you play and you say, no way, it looks like they're planning it perfectly. That's it. Life is a game of Tetris.
I loved it. It's so true. And seeing it that way brings a lot of...
Yes.
Yes. Awesome advice. That awesome advice would be to see life as a game of Tetris. I loved it. And the last great piece of advice, and with this we're basically going to say goodbye, is about relationships. Mainly romantic ones. In what way? What would you prioritize in order to be able to team up with someone in a relationship? What would you look for or notice in that person?
Having similar views on life, right?
A similar outlook.
Similar. Okay. Very similar.
What else?
With that, you solve everything. The rest, yeah.
Physics, chemistry,
intellectual connection, all that. Because if you have that vision, everything else follows. I mean, it's obvious that you wouldn't take a risk with someone you deeply connect with and who sees things the way you do. Do you get what I mean? It's easier. You can have all the great and amazing sex, but without everything else. It doesn't matter. What really matters is the connection. The connection leads to other things. It's very rare to have a deep connection with someone amazing, to share the same points of view, and for the chemistry not to be great. It's unlikely. It can happen, but it's unlikely.
Above all else, I think I agree with you. The connection.
The connection.
Intellectual, not just physical.
No, not the physical one.
Yes, intellectual, the laughter, the conversations, the vision.
And the same or similar points of view. Now that I'm single, I've talked to my therapist about meeting people, and suddenly we meet someone who says, I'm a therapist. Oh, that's cool, therapy. Yeah, we work with kids, guys, because therapy is important at the beginning. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm a doctor who works with, I don't know, the chakras of children from their past lives. And I think, oh, that's it. We're done for. That's it. We're done for. Right? Or I know someone who, no, I don't eat meat. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because I like it when we eat the same and we can share food and that's okay. And you eat everything, right? I mean, yeah, except I don't eat mushrooms because they absorb the earth's negative energy. And I'm like, damn, we're screwed. And that's how I go. So I went to my therapist and told her, I think my standard is that they don't say stupid things. That's my standard. That's all I ask, that they don't say stupid things.
It's very hard, yeah. So for you to have these points of view, these similar points of view, when you say, no, you and I have nothing to do with each other, it's because you're looking that way and I'm looking this way. And maybe you're right and so am I, because everyone has their own point of view. But we end up looking at the same thing. And yes, it helps us with the things in which we are different. But mostly, if I don't want to go clubbing and you're all about clubbing every night, there's going to come a point where you'll be scratching at the door wanting to go out. And I'll be saying, no, I don't want to go out.
Yes.
No, so I'd rather, do you want to be with someone who doesn't want to go clubbing so we can stay home watching Netflix and joking around? That's awesome. Yes.
Exactly.
No. If you're like, you're a vegetarian and you won't eat anything but seeds, we're going to have problems because eventually I'm going to tell you to try it.
Let's see if you'll try some meat.
Well, if the reason I'm getting together with you is to be able to share life, we should like more or less the same things.
100%. You brought up a topic, and with this, I'm going to wrap up. Being single. What does Odin Dupeyron think about being single?
It's fine. You don't have to be in a relationship with anyone.
Now, it can be a decision you can fully live with in this day and age, right?
Yes, always, for a long time now. I mean, yes, you can be single because it's better to be single than to have a life full of problems.
Come on, but it's not even a modern thing. It's better to be alone than in bad company. They've been saying that for a long time. It's not like, oh, wow, nobody discovered this. For a long time, you know, it's better to be alone than to have problems.
The thing is, people are more accepting now of many kinds of lifestyles, preferences, and different ways of living.
One Monday, I went to eat with some friends, and suddenly she said, I'm dating a guy who's married because he tells me he's going to get divorced, but he hasn't. So I'm waiting, but I don't know what to do, but it's a mess. And then once I told him I'm still with his wife, but he told me he didn't love her, but I'm seeing him, but it's a mess. And I replied to a message, wow. And my other friend said, no, I'm seeing a guy, but it turns out he cheated on me because he says it's normal because we have polyamory, but I don't like it, but it's a mess. So I don't know what to do because then he put me on TV and we fought. And my other friend said, no, I'm seeing a guy. And they were telling us their stories and sharing all their dramas. And then it all just got to me and it was a mess. And she asked me, how are you doing? And I said, I'm good. I'm good. I don't mess around. I'm good. I'm good. Single. Great. Single. I mean, yeah, I have a great time with myself. For me to want to be with you, I have to have a better time with you than I do with myself. Don't take away my solitude if you're not going to make it amazing.
Yes, when you are a happy and complete person, like we've talked about, for someone to come into your life and add something, they really have to be someone happy and complete.
Of course. I mean, and besides, you don't have to add anything to me. Take care.
Share.
Let's have a good time.
Exactly.
I already make good money. I have my house. I have my car, my career. I need you to help me, to give me advice. Of course, it makes me feel good. As long as you don't make a fuss. As long as we're good. As long as you don't come around bothering. I mean, I agree that there will be problems. Yes, there will be problems. We're going to have issues and disagreements, of course. But let that not be the norm. It just can't be the norm.
Agreed.
Make sure we have a good time. And I'll make sure we have a good time. And we'll be a little more,
You see your life as being single. Maybe having partners for different stages, but never just one for your whole life.
No, just one for life. If it happens, it happens. I had an amazing 8-year relationship. If you stay together for 20 years, that's awesome. If you stay together 100 times, that's freaking awesome. As long as it's good, it's good.
Of course, you enjoy it while it lasts.
Of course. Now,
that's very consistent with what you said about living and surfing through life as it comes.
I've never had relationships where we only live together for 2 weeks. What kind of crap is that? Come on. Where did you live for just 2 weeks? What kind of nonsense is that? What is that? No, I had an 8-year relationship. I mean, for me, relationships are like a pregnancy, right? You start a relationship like a pregnancy. And once you make it to a year, now you're really in a relationship. Now we're in a relationship. We already know each other's quirks. At first, love is really beautiful. And you don't see any flaws. Then real love comes.
Yes.
And then mature love comes. That's when love is really there. This time it lasted a week, 2 weeks. I'm not easy to sleep with. I don't sleep with someone easily. I don't have casual sex. I need a connection and a connection. I always say my casual sex lasts 3 or 4 months. That's how long my casual sex lasts, right? I have to have a deep connection. It's like having a good job. If I get a job where I'm going to be happy for 20 years, of course I'll stay. Come on. Why wouldn't I stay? If things keep being awesome, I'm going to stay. And if it lasts 50 years, I'll happily stay for 50 years. If it's a relationship, it's a relationship. If it's a job, it's a job. If it's my apartment, it's my apartment. I'm happy. I'm fine. Why would I move? Are you doing great? Yes. Are you still happy? Yes. Are you good with your girl? Yes. Do you guys still love each other? Hell yeah. We don't have sex the same way, but I'm fine. I don't want to go have sex with anyone else. I'm happy here. Stay.
I love it. We all need those lenses through which you see life. Thank you, Odin, for everything you said, which is also very authentic. I mean, I think it's obvious that it's in your DNA. I mean, it's not something you learned. It's not something you just have as some sales pitch. I commend you for that philosophy of life, which I not only share, but which also inspires me because I learned so much from you in this conversation. And well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Thank you again. And I'm sure we'll see each other again soon because you're an amazing guest, even if you don't believe it. All the others. And well, that's it. Thank you very much. And I think our guest today deserves a big round of applause. Mualam. Just to wrap up, for those who enjoyed this episode, help me with 2 things. Leave me a comment with a yes or an I loved it or whatever you want to say, and help me share it. Because maybe you liked it, but there are people who not only like it, but it can actually change their lives for the better. And from there, they might go to therapy, attend one of your plays, and get inspired in a different way, or even enter this whole universe we're trying to create, which is Conquista tu Mundo. Thank you very much, Odin. See you soon, and thanks again.